Bought my hex from the fucking start. Point one every day we mark. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the hex, he is mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pull chains out, now get me a check. He's gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died, collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this pulsechain Lango. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this pulsechain Lango. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hairy start. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart.
What the heck is up, guys? It's your boy GRC. Sam Stolt. How's everyone doing this morning? Wow, guys, more activity in the comments than ever. Channel's going parabolic. And if you know anything about parabolas, it means we're going to the moon, okay? So, guys, I'm so excited today because I get to actually speak to someone that I don't know, which is always nice for me. Someone that I respect because I looked at his work and I enjoy it. It had nothing to do with him. I looked at his work by myself, just because he was in the comments and I saw he had a channel. Enjoyed it right away. It's kind of on the same track of what I'm trying to get to as far as obviously our personalities are different, but like the openness, the broadness, there's no like I'm the ultimate like knowledge source, but it's more so like a communicative like thought. What do they call them? Like thought tanks?
Yeah, thought leader or think tanks.
So it's my boy. You already know because I spam the links all over the place. Your boy CryptoGRFX. Do you like when people call you CryptoGRFX? Because I feel like some people it clicks, and then some people are like CryptoGRFX.
Yeah, I don't know. I like CryptoGRFX. I think eventually it'll stick.
Your logo, your design, the way you're going about your channel, absolutely professional, and I appreciate it.
And the awesome setup. Like, look at his background. Look at my background versus your background with the lights. The blue, you got the lighting in your face, looks awesome. You're doing a great job. You had just started your YouTube channel. Like,
let's dive right into who you are, CryptoGRFX. Who is CryptoGRFX? You don't have to tell us any specifics, but why did you want to become a content creator, and how did you get into the crypto game? And when did you kind of link up with Hex as far as that? When did that occur? Because we don't know each other at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was growing up, like no matter what sport I played, I always had a natural tendency to start teaching and to start like whatever sport. I was a goalie in hockey as when I was younger, and all the time whenever we had like goalie clinics or for drills as goalies, I'd always want to help the younger goalies. When I got into like golf, I'd help people. I was a freestyle ski coach for a while, and so I naturally had like this always wanted to, and it always came out like that. No matter what I did, when there's someone who wasn't quite up to where I was, or I knew something they didn't, I always just naturally fall into doing that. And so I had never heard of crypto until.
When did you notice that? When did you first notice that you were like, why do I keep interjecting and like thinking that because I do the same exact thing. And I think we both probably do. I think that might be a common thread.
I think that absolutely is. That absolutely is.
Yeah. So go on with that point. That's so interesting.
Yeah. So I think I noticed it I noticed it when someone else noticed it and asked me to be a freestyle ski coach. Because I started skiing and I was like, okay, it was not good, but I was getting it. I from hockey, I had the skating ability and whatnot, so it kind of like translated a little bit. But I was going nowhere fast with it, and so the main coach though saw that trait in me, I guess, and asked me. He's like, "Hey, he didn't say, hey, you don't have the skill to be a skier, you should coach, but essentially he did. He's like, yeah, you should probably coach. So would you like to coach? And I was like, oh, sure, why not?
So you're a
and
good
5 years,
communicator.
I guess so. Yeah. I was able to, and I was able to do that for 5 years, and it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
so much fun. Honestly, I actually miss skiing quite a lot. I haven't done it in years and do actually miss it. But that was the first time where I realized that, okay, maybe I should be a teacher of some sort. And then that kind of went off, and always when I've played guitar my whole life, and that anytime
See the
anytime
Sorry,
someone
Ryan.
comes over and they ask a question about the guitar and they play it a little bit, I play for maybe 2 seconds, then give them the guitar, and then end up trying to teach them something. It's just like I can't help it. So over the years, I've just noticed that, okay, I have a big thing for wanting to teach. And when I first learned about crypto, I had no idea what it was, no idea about anything. All I knew was it looked like a quick way to maybe make $1 million with $100. It's a sweet little online casino. So I was just throwing money at like SHIB. I threw a little bit of money at SHIB and threw some money at random coins at first. And then I started to think about, okay, what's actually going on here? And then I was actually up in a gold mine working for the last 2 years. And at that point, I was sick of throwing money at things and them not going up, and I didn't understand why. And I had remember hearing Dollar Cost Crypto on a podcast. He was up with Charlie, and they were talking about their favorite cryptos. And DCC had gone on and said, the question came up, what's your favorite crypto? And DCC, Charlie was like, Bitcoin, obviously Bitcoin's the best, blah, blah. And DCC came up and he was like, I think Hex.
Was that with Kawasaki and Kawasaki, DCC, and Kawasaki, DCC, and Cultivate Crypto was in there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie,
exactly.
I know the Charlie and all of them. As far as they hate me, but I have affiliated with them in the past. But I've invited them on the show and told them I was sorry for anything mean I said to them, because I was pissed because I got some, just the whole bullshit. I got wrecked. Classic. Everyone's gotten wrecked. Yep. How many projects have we gotten wrecked on at this point? Because it's like, and that's why I try to give Sam some of my wreckedness. So he doesn't, because he's so, you can see it in his eyes. He's like trustworthy, diving in, like, yeah. And I'm like, man, I'm scared because I'm like hiding, like paranoid, like don't get near me, like all these projects. Like I want to be like a thought leader. So I want to dive into them. Like I'm going to get into Terra Luna real hard. Sorry guys, I just dropped it on stream. I'm going to do that. Okay. If everyone wants to unfollow me because I want to learn about Terra Luna, then you can put your finger up your own butt and say, I'm an idiot. All right. So.
I think I think it's a good point though. I think that is an interesting thing to have that, or not interesting, but I think that's what more people, I think, in my opinion, should be looking at this spaces though. Like the more we can learn about other projects, the more we can learn about ourselves in this space. And, it gives us a chance to communicate with other projects in a better way too. The more you know about Terra Luna, the more you know about all these other ecosystems, the better we can have conversations, so that if we see that, okay, our ecosystem is actually the far superior one, we can communicate that far better. We can actually articulate ourselves better.
I'm going to let you go 1 second, Sam, and then I'm done. But this is exactly what I'm trying to do on this channel, kind of in my own mind. This is a little bit more of what I have on my own mind than I tell like Sam and my producer, because it's a little bit like, I don't know how to articulate it, but you see the banners on the bottom, pulsex and hex.com. I'm going to be interviewing Terra Luna guys with that on the bottom. Mm-hmm. That is my brand.
Yep.
I'm just going to be talking about other shit. And then when
they're
like,
Hex in the morning.
Yeah, they're going to be like, who are these educated guys with Hex banners, pulse chain banners, whatever's going on? And we're bringing these guys in. I have a very good way of going to this. I can slip and slide right to the top of these guys and get them on interviews somehow. I don't know how I do it. I don't even know. I couldn't even write down how I do it. I just DM people all day. Really, I'm a DM master.
That's how CryptoGRFX is here, I'm sure, from you starting.
What's up? How did you start this shit? Like, when were you like, I'm fucking...
He told me about your channel. He was like, hey, you should check out this channel. It looks like it's brand new, but I watched a couple of his videos last night, and they're really good. I want to bring him on or something like that. That was like a week ago or something. It
was like 4 days ago. I was like, been in his channel for like 6 hours. Like, it just was one day. I didn't even watch. And then I watched some of your streams, and I was like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's actually learning, and he doesn't have incentive to just do whatever someone's giving him $100 to do. I could tell. And that's the thing. It's like, there's guys in my DMs trying to give me $1,200 to say random ass shit already. Mm-hmm. Already.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, no, get the heck away. I can see it now from the other side. Like I didn't, and so I can pick guys like this out because I know he's smart enough to know his business model has to stand on more than that moving forward, right? You need legs.
100%. Yeah.
You need honesty, you need transparency. This man's trying to sell you his skills, and he's going to give you the honesty, the transparency, and the open-mindedness, because that's the only way you'll have legs moving forward, in my opinion.
100%. You need that.
It's
And
crazy.
that's what a lot of people miss.
That's not the case in the media, like the fake media, right? Like, and I think we being like creators and the community that we're in, and just whether it's in this community or another community, it's in the fitness industry, and there's a lot of fake people in the fitness industry as well. And it's always been like the way to win in the end is to be 100% transparent and just honest about, like, I don't give a shit what you do personally. Like, this is all the information. This is my incentives behind here. That I don't want you to do this because this is my incentive. I want you to do what's best for you. And it's like the grassroots of how journalism is today. And it's like, GRC has said this a couple of times, but you're getting the best quality information from like YouTube channels that are like 25,000 subs and less. Like, you're just getting gold, like amazing, super smart, talented people that are sharing their thoughts, their analysis, what they've learned, their experience. And you're going through that, and you're like literally striking that, you know, when you hit your elbow and you get that, what is that, funny bone or something, and you get that tingling in your hand, you've hit that chord, right? Your channel's been out for 3 weeks, and you hit it, and you're already at 3,000 almost subs. Like, that's incredible in a month to be able to be like, I know what the community wants. They want that honesty. They want that transparency, to be able to see both sides of things and just explain it to them. So, like, I think kudos to you and the progress you're making. But go back to what GRC was saying. So why did you decide to like go into the content creation portion? Like, so your journey through, you know, crypto, you're like playing around, fucking around, don't know what the hell is going on, and then you find Hex, and then why did you go like, hey, I'm gonna start creating this content?
Right. So when I learned about Hex, the more I learned about it, the more I was like, I started trying to talk to friends and you know, tell them, hey, there's this thing I'm learning. You should learn about it too. It looks crazy. Like, my math was so wrong. And the math that I was telling them was like, if they listened to me, they thought they're going to be like billionaires by next year. But still, I was trying to like talk to people and yeah, hey man, there's still potential.
There could be.
We don't know what's happening.
Never know.
We don't know
You never
exactly, man.
I've seen weirder shit. I've seen 1,100% in 43 days.
Hey man, who knows? Pulse chain hasn't even gone live yet. We don't even know.
Go on, let me not break your thought, but
okay.
let me not get the.
Okay.
Yeah, we get distracted. We'll start talking about
we can't go there yet. But so I had been learning about this, and I had been trying to talk to people about it, and like family, friends, and everywhere. Either I was getting like resistance for people actually wanting to go deeper on it. It was pissing me off. I'm like, okay, well, what do I need to know to get you guys to understand what I understand? And to maybe like, am I wrong? Are you guys like, am I explaining it wrong? Or do you guys just not get it? So I kept like diving in deeper and deeper and deeper, trying to understand this. And the more I did, the more I saw the power in Hex and what Richard Hart's going and trying to build, and Pulse Chain and pulsex. And I missed Pulse Chain. I was like, oh my God, that sucks. But then pulsex came out. I'm like, holy crap, there's another opportunity. Right. And so I got so hyped and I went full bore into it and tried to learn more and more and more. And it kind of coincided with, I had started. So CryptoGRFX, actually, the reason why I have the name I have is because originally in fall of last year, I had just come out of camp. I had basically, I thought to myself, you know what? I don't want to go back to work. I want to create my own thing. I'm sick of being an employee. I want to build my own thing, and I'm done. So I started this idea with a friend for a crypto clothing company, and graphics, the GRFX, was like more of like a blend of like talking about graphics or what is it called?
graphic design.
Yeah, exactly. Graphic design. Right. So we did that. And as soon as we built it, it was just like, this just doesn't feel right. I was looking at stores online. I was like, man, this thing's like a floppy business model. Like, it's going to die right away. And so kind of let it die for a little bit. And then I had the idea for some like sports jerseys that I wanted to do. And I wanted to have like hex and pulse chain on like hockey jerseys and baseball jerseys and all this. And I started making them, get the plans already. And then I got CryptoGRFX.com. I managed to scoop that up. And when shortly after that happened, I did the designs and I got some stuff in. And I went to start posting things online. I was like, wait. This doesn't feel right to go on here and just like, why am I in this in the first place? Like, I had to check myself a little bit and run myself at like, okay, if I'm going to make money from this, this is the worst way possible to do this. So I backed off and made a site and started making a blog and started posting content about just whatever came to mind. And I started posting them online, and I started noticing people were reading it, and I could tell the site was actually getting a little bit of traction. I was like,
Were you marketing it at all, or this is just organic from search and whatnot?
It's just organic from search. I was just sharing it on, because I still had my Twitter at that point. Like I think I had like 40 people following me at that point when I started posting it, and I just noticed people were reading it, and even family or friends that I had known would read it, and they would enjoy it and actually give me good feedback. It's like, okay, it's actually like people wanting to read this stuff. And I felt like I actually enjoyed writing. So that was a weird thing. Like I would never thought I'd ever enjoy writing before. So I started that just started coming out. And then the next thing you know, I have a podcast actually with a friend who here where I live. And a lot of what we were doing in that, I was not able to channel exactly what I wanted to talk about every time. And the one thing that bugged me about the podcast that I wasn't able to do as much, because it was like a combination of free form and structure. I wasn't able to articulate my thoughts properly unless it was like fully written down. Like I remember we did a cryptocurrency video where I explained crypto from top to bottom and showed hex a little bit and pulsechain and pulsex. But in that video, I made a presentation. It was like 15 slides long, and I put it up and I read through that. And that was the first moment where I was like, maybe that's something I could do for like future stuff or future content. And my friend, my co-host on the podcast, had told me, because I was trying to figure out how to make this work. What do I do here? And he challenged me. He's like, hey, you should make a YouTube channel. If you really want to challenge yourself, you should make a YouTube channel. And I'm like, shit, well, that's what I've been trying to do for the last number of years, is challenge myself and grow. So if I need to do that, maybe that's what I need to do. And I thought about it, and I was thinking about the blog, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is the perfect outlet to start that. I started it, and within 4 videos, I started noticing people watching more and more. And as the views started climbing a little bit, it was like a light bulb clicked. I'm like, oh, this is what I need to do. I need to help people this way. People are actually receptive to this. I'm actually able to teach people. I need to be accountable, make sure the information I'm doing or giving is accurate, but I need to keep doing this. Like it didn't start as like, I want to be like I want to educate the world, but I wanted to help. And now it's like, oh my God, there's actually something here that people want to hear. And I really want to keep focusing on it.
That is like, so I have goosebumps right now, because what you're describing is the customer service function of crypto that is not there, in the sense of that we are customer service for crypto, right?
Yes.
Like learning, if you need to learn about something, you don't just go to school, right? Or you don't go call a hotline or anything like that. We are presenting the information out there. And today, especially versus 20 years ago, today, people's bullshit meter is way better. So right? So
yeah. Ours is, but BitBoy Crypto certainly had no problem. So Sam, this is where you're wrong, right? Like this is where
collectively it's better, even if there's clowns
better.
out there.
Yes, it's better for everyone. Yes,
right.
As far as humanity, but just like CryptoGRFX was getting to, none of his friends want to hear it. None of my friends want to hear it. None of your friends want to hear it. Nobody wants to fucking hear it except a small percentage of humans that are on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
My friends, literally, I'm like, dude, Hex changed my life. I quit my job. They're like, I don't give a fuck. No, they're like, that's cool. They're like, cool. And like, yeah, like dope. Like, I'm glad you're doing your thing. But they're just, as far as when I get pen and paper out or a whiteboard, they're just like, don't care.
Isn't that kind of funny though?
They're smart people with businesses. They're not randoms. Like,
well, it's almost like what you're describing, right? It's a little challenging to find people. I mean, we've all done it. Like,
that's why I'm recruiting graphics to be my friend right now.
Because it's right. Like my girlfriend will listen to me, but that's probably because she's my girlfriend. Like other people will just like, they've got shit to do, or just it's not something that's interesting them. So
Graphics, have you ever worked with a team of any sort in any way as far as in your personal business?
No.
So you're a solo act.
I am completely solo. The blog, the website, everything, the YouTube channel, all of it is solo.
Yeah, so like something I've learned too, like obviously my channel, I did a lot of work before I started my channel that helped my channel. So people are like, oh, my channel's blowing up. But really, I did a lot beforehand. I was on Twitter 24/7 for 6 months straight saying Hex was the best thing I've ever found. I can't believe this community's here. I was like, this is the best thing ever. Richard was following me. Everyone was following me. I was so happy about Hex. I was like posting stuff on TikTok. I started to do a little TikTok. I saw that there was nothing going on in TikTok. So I was like, maybe this is somewhere. I was working at the time. I said, maybe this is somewhere I can get involved. And then fuck it. No, that didn't work out. I was like, TikTok's total trash. I'm sorry, but like you can repost videos there, but that's about it, guys, unless you want to be a total sellout. But repost all your videos there still. Repost all your stuff there and do like personal videos. But as far as getting dense content on the internet, like TikTok's just not my favorite spot at this point. In the TikTok lives is absolute joke. By the way.
What have you noticed from the social standpoint of putting stuff out there? Because one of the things that gives me, like in the crypto space, I'm just super curious now, but I use it a lot in the fitness space, is I read the comments, and I have a Facebook group, and I get into answer questions, just interact with people all the time. So I get to see kind of like reoccurring themes of curiosity, or like things that are not well articulated by other people. So are you noticing certain themes like that, or is it still like too early to kind of like pick up on that stuff?
No, I've definitely learned there's a huge knowledge gap. There's either people that come in the space or to my videos and comment that are like, has pulse chain happened yet? What does the snapshot mean? Like the most basic fundamental questions of like, how do I buy pulsex? And it's like, you can't, right? They just they're just starting. They heard about it. They want to know, or they come in and they're like, what do you think about USDC invalidation, or like question more complicated? There's like this huge gap between the people that are coming in. Most of them are actually at the bottom, where most of them are coming in and they have no idea, and they have the most basic questions, and they're just so hungry to get that information. Like they'll comment. I've had people that like will comment once or twice or 3 times on the same video. If I don't respond to them within like a day or two, they haven't got to it. They're just like, they need the answer so bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
Come Get Me Alien says, I'm okay with being in the small minority of people that obsessively learn with you guys. We are ahead of the curve. Yes. By a long shot.
You do have to bring that down to the, like, I don't want to say dumbing it down, but it's not that dumbing it down. It's just like, in my journey in the fitness world, like I'm an expert in that world relatively.
You're more than an expert. Like literally Bullish was watching your video and laughing so fucking hard last night, your video with those guys from the HRT world. And he was like, these guys are speaking fucking Chinese. And I'm like, I know, because I know exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. It sounds like perfectly dumbed down English to me. You guys are talking openly, laughing, and he's like, he just said something about insulin. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? And I was like, just don't even, you know what I mean? But that's the knowledge gap right there. It would be like if I was coming to you as a 21-year-old, like, how do you bench press today? Like, and you're just like, okay, like, we're talking about estrogen relation to the receptors in your brain right now, but let's dumb it down to bench press real quick. Like,
yes, exactly. But it's like, it's a good reminder for me, but also just I think everybody who does content to put things into context, because you put it into context once and then we kind of like forget about it. Kind of like, okay, we've got to that point, so we've let go of it. But you have to perpetually do that, especially when you look at the analytics. I don't remember last time I looked at them, but it was like 80 or 90% of the people watching content of one of the channels, the crypto related channel, was like brand new people that have never seen the stuff before. So you're like, you might see, CryptoGRFX commented, and then he commented again like several weeks later the next week. But in reality, most of the people watching are brand new people, and the data behind that is confirming it. And to me, it's like, I'm just like, oh, maybe I should continue to work on giving context around things to create more so I appreciate that insight from you because it's something that I see in the data and I'm not probably utilizing it to the best of my ability. What other things have you noticed about the community piece of it? Because I don't like you said how.
Were you in any other communities? Were you in any other crypto communities graphics before this?
No, just found Hex and stayed. Yeah.
Did you buy any other cryptos?
I only bought I think I threw like
few.
$100 here, $100 there in like Binance because I was just like, I want to, just throwing money around trying to make a quick buck. But that was it. Never in a community.
Hex was your first exposure, so you got the automatic exposure to Hex, which is usually where the Hexicans are. Like when they get their first exposure from Hex, they're like, man, everything else is trash.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. How if you he has been in this longer than I have, and I think probably a little bit longer than you, maybe.
Yeah, but I think so.
I'm in the community. I'm like, oh wow, these people are cool. This is awesome. Like, hey, I'm get to talk to you. I'm talking to GRC. Like, he's bringing other awesome people on that know a lot of shit that I don't know, and it's awesome to be able to talk to these people and learn so much. And I'm like, wait, is this just like a microcosm within the broader set of crypto, or is it? But I don't have that context. Like you said, Terra Luna and learning about other projects.
Yeah, but they don't have what Hex has. They have a community of smart people, but they don't have a army of fucking marketers. Like we're like an army of freaking serial marketers and serial entrepreneurs that would die for Richard Hart on the cross. That's a lot different. No, I don't know who the fucking Terra Luna dude is. If you said his name right now, I would remember it. But he's a celebrity in Terra Luna. I don't know who the fuck he is. I bet they know who Richard Hart is, certainly.
But is it because I'm in that
immutable, Sam? Immutable.
But I'm biased. I'm biased because this is what I look at. Like I'm looking at this community, so I don't know if other communities are like that.
Yeah,
right? I don't know.
But what do you know about communities in general? Let's talk about fitness then. Let's bring it back. You know how hard it is to find people that aren't shilling bull S. You know how hard it is to find people that don't have supplement companies that are ripping you in half with their rates, and they're not putting in better ingredients with higher frequencies for better customer service. They're putting in less of other ingredients so they don't have to pay for it. You know that, Sam. That's 90% of all companies in marketing are absolute dirt and trash. The people don't understand. They didn't do it from the bottom. They don't understand how to work hard. They're just copying a template. Like I'm not coming in here copying a template. I'm coming in here because this is truthfully what I'm better at than most people. I am a better communicator. I can bring people together. I am more friendly and more social, and I'm very extroverted. So it's like, this is my role, but I guarantee if my role was being super smart with computers, I'd be dominating that space. You know what I mean? I would be in there going at it just like I'm coming in here saying, this is my piece, guys. I can break through virality. To me, it doesn't seem hard. It seems like normal.
Can you talk to that about your experience with the community? Like, obviously it's brand new from a content creation standpoint, but you've been in other communities, whether it was a skiing one you mentioned and stuff. Can you just talk to that about your experience and stuff?
Yeah, as far as just like the differences between the community, or in what way specifically?
Yeah, and so that's I'm like, okay, this community is beautiful, right? But then I'm like, is it? And I get GSC's point, like, right there. Probably may not be the case in the other communities, but I'm not in those communities, so I can't say that definitively if there's not like those communities like that. And if you see that same distinction, or if you think the same thing, you just are like automatically like, oh, this has to be better than all the other places. And I'm just curious in your perspective, because mine is, I'm not sure because I haven't touched any other communities. So that was where I was looking at it from. Totally.
I mean, I'm trying my best no matter what to always keep an open mind to admit that no, everyone's missing something in their other perspective, or okay, most people, not everyone, because obviously, I mean, we haven't found a hole in Richard Hart's theories at this point, so he's pretty much almost 100%. But most people have some kind of thing that they're missing on something, or there's something they don't know that may be a missing link to a greater piece of knowledge, right, or understanding. And so, with this community, I found less of those holes. And also where there's those holes, there are people that can fill them and can make things make sense in a greater context, and make it so that everything is just perfect in a sense. Whereas I go to other communities, or I've heard from other communities, it just doesn't seem like it's as well put together. It seems like there's different motivations is almost the biggest thing that I have heard from the difference between the Hex community and just listening to others, where Hex seems like people, the way they want to go about it is for, I mean, obviously it's delayed gratification, but it's more so, it's a long-term thing. It's more of an investment, it seems. People want to understand the why, the how, and everything about it. And other communities, there's very intelligent people. I have heard some people come in from the Bitcoin space and from Ethereum and from all sorts of communities that are like way smarter than I am and way more into, they know way more than I do. But when they go head to head with someone who is, let's say, completely in the know in our community, the morals, like, I mean, look at the last interview with Richard Hart, like the difference, the discrepancy in the way that and why they were doing what they're doing or what they were trying to achieve. That to me spoke volumes. Like Richard was like literally saying, okay, there's an issue, there's major issues. We're trying to help people here. And then Buddy was just like, it doesn't even matter. That doesn't matter though. It's not about that. And it's just, there's this huge discrepancy. And I see that between Hex and other communities. And I'm sure that's not for everyone, but I think that's what, for me, what makes Hex so special is that people are more so in it for reasons outside of just themselves and trying to educate and give and, you know, expand the community versus just trying to get people on board for the sake of, you know, whatever.
Delayed gratification doesn't speak to everyone either. So most people hate that S. But like clearly CryptoGRFX isn't that guy. Clearly Sam's not that guy. Clearly I'm not that guy. So like this community speaks to me because I'm like, oh, there's a dude saying delayed gratification and he's trying to like have a business at the same time. What is this craziness? Like, what is this nonsense? He's like, delayed gratification. He told me not to smoke weed. He told me not to masturbate all day. He told me not to play video games. He told me, and I read his book. This is all the shit he says in his book. Don't play video games. Don't sports gamble. Don't turn your TV on. Literally says all that shit. So word for word, he says, these are the biggest waste of time. They will ruin your life. When someone says those words to me, I know their intentions are pure because those are the biggest facts that I have found true in my life.
Do you guys see this as being like the antithesis of the past, 40 years of marketing, where everywhere you turn, it's like, you want abs, quick, buy my shit, get them in 6 days.
Yeah.
You want to make $1 million, and this, at least from my POV, seems to be the antithesis of that, where it's like the exact opposite. It's, if you want happiness in life, if you want financial success, if you want a great relationship, if you want anything that you desire in life, it requires putting in the work, letting go of your ego to be at a place to accept other people's points of view and being trustworthy of yourself to understand that other people have incentives and you can throw away the garbage they tell you if it is garbage, but other people also have tremendous value that they can provide. And it's like because we've seen over the past so many decades, like people just trying to sell shit, but we didn't have access. We didn't have access to put this information out to people. Like 30 years ago, it was a bunch of white dudes. And I'm just saying that superficially or to try to make a point, but who controlled all the media companies, so to speak, who were the gatekeeper to the messages that got out. If you wanted to advertise, you were doing it in a newspaper, very expensive. Nobody had any clue about how to do that. Now, if you want to put out that message, I mean, we can do this for free. And we have the transitioning away from short-term shit that's been pushed for the last 50, 60 years. Hey, this is the short-term solution. Take a pill to fix your problem. Take a pill to fix your anxiety. Take a pill to fix your whatever you're trying to fix, instead of put in the work and grow and that kind of thing. And I'm curious to hear, I know I just blattered on about it, but I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts on that, because I see this happening on other communities too, where people are getting I'm going to say exposed, right? We can use the political thing, right? We don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but you get to see people getting exposed because they're so tired of just this fakeness. It's not, you're going to get abs in 6 days or you're going to make $1 million in 6 months. That's just not going to be how it works 99.99% of the time. And
you wouldn't even want it if it worked like that. I wouldn't even care about abs the only reason I care about abs because it separates me from everyone else.
Shows the work.
Well, I just said
Yep.
when I take my shirt off, I refuse to be. I would like to be number one in the group personally, and I know people think that's odd to say, and it doesn't come out of most people's mouths, but it's just the actual truth. And this is how humans think. This is how men think. Everyone has a different skill set, of course. Not everyone can get really nice abs. That's just not possible for everyone. That happens to be something that's possible for me with relative ease, I would say. So that's a part of my daily schedule. Like I make sure that, and that's just, it's just, why don't people want to work hard? What else would you do? I don't understand.
I've done a lot of thinking, and like, I mean, part of I did a video called the 10,000x hedonic effect, and I kind of touched on some about this there, but I did that, and it was also in the podcast that I did with a friend, talking about how delayed gratification and short-term happiness and all that, how money can affect your happiness over time. And the hedonic principle essentially it's called the hedonic treadmill, and it talks about how you go up and down in happiness and you always return to a baseline. But the problem is when you go up, let's say you win a bunch of money or get a bunch of money, when your happiness goes up, you come back down to a baseline, but your perspectives change. Now you have a baseline of perspective of maybe you have a personal chef. So meals that you used to enjoy are no longer as good. Right. And so I've been thinking about, how do you go from this short-term mindset or like a perspective in general that you want to shift. And I reflected on my past and look at what other people speak about, people that have achieved great things and that have done these really difficult things and how happy they are, even though they've struggled, or people that have gone from homeless to millionaires and how they've act versus people that just won the lottery. And one of the things that's resonated for me and been experientially true for me is any time that I have either gone through suffering or extraordinary challenges and overcome that, I have appreciated the hell out of it. But anything that came out of thin air, it's like, I forget I even have it. I forget it even came to me. And so for me, like happiness and getting these, like just being not taking it for granted comes through like suffering, and you appreciate things that you've had to go through to earn, essentially, like that's how I feel about that. Anyways,
I'm so happy about you go ahead.
So I want to ask you a question, CryptoGRFX, about and then you as well, GFC. So when you look at the hedonic like treadmill, right? So you've got like this line, you kind of like might go like this type of thing. What is your point of view on that baseline? Yes, your perspective's different, but if you're like, okay, this is what the research is telling you, that you get these like excitable peaks of emotional state, right? And then you're up here and then you come back down to baseline. But when you're saying this, like, cool, I understand the data might point in that direction, but then I look at my life and I am far happier today than I was 5 years ago.
Right.
I'm far, like it's not even close. Mm-hmm. And I want to hear your thoughts on this. Like if you look back at your, like, yes, this is what the data says, you come back to a baseline, but then it's kind of like misleading to the person who's maybe just at a different point in their journey, because then they're like, well, what's the point in striving if I'm just going to get back to this baseline level? But in reality, like when I look at my own life, it's like you might have like high emotional states, but like I am far more peaceful, more fulfilled, happier. My relationships are better, both with intimate, like, and I'm curious, what have you experienced the same thing? Because like, doesn't that draw a contrast to the hedonic treadmill, right? Like if that's your own reality. Go ahead.
That's a great point, actually. Because the reason that the hedonic principle was, I spoke about that, is more in like a quick term gratification. It's like it goes up fast, right? It's a spike, and all of a sudden you go from here to here. But what you're saying is very true. Your baseline, once your baseline life experience and the way you can take care of yourself and others goes up, I don't think that you can have it's not like you're going to be missing out. You're still going to be, your overall life is better at that point. And I think your overall happiness will shift up. And I think that's something that everyone should strive for. I'm not saying that people should not try and get as wealthy as they can or anything like that, to take care of as many people as they can. But what I am saying is that I think people need to make sure that Like it sounds like, and I would actually, Sam, I'd love to know. Okay, so you said your baseline happiness increased over the years, and Jimmer, I'd love to know this for you too. As you have gone from wherever you were at maybe like your lowest point to where you are, was it overnight or was it a long stretch of many days and years of blood, sweat, and tears that made you get there? And knowing that you earned that, now you're happy because you can appreciate everything that you've made for yourself.
Yeah. I just thought immediately back to day one, halfway house, 19 years old, 12 heroin addicts living in the same house. Literally for 2 full years, I lived in that house. I remember, and 4 people to a room, $100 a week. Like cash up front, like that. That's how bad it was for GRC. But I mean, I was trying to help myself at the same time. Like I kind of had a plan, but at the same time, I was 19 years old. But I knew when I got out of that, I was sober for 3,500 days after that, I think, roughly, and sober from weed and alcohol completely, and any other drug. I said, and it was a hard experience. I didn't make much money through any of the experience, but I learned lessons that it would take a lifetimes to learn. Lifetimes. And then now I can work. I did all the learning. I can work now. I didn't work back then. I never worked. There was no schooling. There was no work. There was no studies. Yeah, I played sports and shit, and I did high school. I passed, got didn't pay attention to anything. But I was like, I'm ready to learn. Like I was just like, this is some bullshit. Everything everyone told me over the last 12 years, all bullshit, all lies. They all said this was true. Everyone's in debt. I got arrested 3 times before I was 19, and I had less debt than all my friends because they went to college. I got arrested and fucking got 2 DUIs. Like I should have been in more debt than them. No, they're still paying their debt off. I've been off that shit for 5 years because they were lied to. Not saying you can't go to school, but I'm saying you want to make a pros and cons chart, we can do it right now. Like, yeah. And people are like, oh, Scott, you can't say that out loud because, people go, I'm like, I'm going to say it out loud until people start listening because my life is extraordinarily better than most. And I don't make much money. I pay $800 a month net bills for my living expenses, $800 net per month. And, no problems here. I don't need to fuck no one. I don't need to go social signal at the bar. I don't need to do nothing. I don't give a fuck. I've already done all that stuff, and I could do it again if I wanted to. The bars are going to be down the street in 3 years when I'm fucking billionaire. So I know the same bars. I'll go over there. I'll say what's up in 3 years.
Exactly.
Be right where it left off. Right where it left. Same guys, same there, doing nothing. I'll be in there. I'll be like, I'll spend 20 minutes in there. I'll be like, I did my shit. Y'all didn't. I mean, that's how I feel. You were in there. That's how I feel. I feel that. I'm like, I'm not going to die without going hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is. I'd rather be the biggest scam artist loser rather than just someone who never put his face out there.
Question for both of you guys. So I picked up my No, you're good. It's awesome. So I picked up my girlfriend from the airport last night. And on the way back, we're talking, and I realized, and I've seen this like many times, but sometimes I feel like it's easier, or not necessarily easier. Maybe I'm more cognizant or aware of it to take action on like moving forward and learning and growing, because that's what life is, right? It's just a perpetual journey of learning more things and growing that allows you to utilize that learning in some way. So what are like something that you do on a daily that allows you to continue to take that action? Like one thing you're going to peg it to that you're like, this is what I'm able to do every day. And that has a ripple effect throughout the rest of the day on things. Because I think so many people get stuck in that time. Like I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he had an injury, a neck injury, and has to wear a brace for 6 months on his neck and can't drive and can't leave the house really, and he's feeling depressed. And they don't realize that, like, it's like, okay, you clean up your office. Okay, well then you don't feel like doing anything, but literally just going through and cleaning up the office is what creates those emotions and that stuff that you like want to feel, like feeling good about accomplishment, feeling good about fulfillment and happy you did something, right? Instead of feeling depressed or anxiety or stress. So what are those things for you, CryptoGRFX? Like, what is it, something that you do, like very subtly, if you can kind of like put it into perspective, like that thing that you grab onto so that that little thing that somebody can take away, be like, I can start doing that in my life. Because sometimes we talk very broadly, but people have like the practicality piece is missing for some people. So what is that thing for you?
Oh, that's a tough question. I have to think about that for a second here. I guess,
Take your time.
yeah. Like what gets, if I were to say, I'll just start off by saying like the first thing, what gets me to keep going is reflecting on what I've been and what I don't want to be and what I want to become, you know, and making sure that the contrast of and understanding the habits and the things that I do on a daily basis that don't serve what I want to become. Those are the things that I need to continuously improve on always. Like if simply just not doing the laundry or something is a small habit that is snowballing into forgetting to go work out and not brushing my teeth and small things that stop letting me take care of myself, and that's that tiny little piece of the puzzle is now a massive integral part of my growth. And so when I'm going through my day to day, I guess I look at I always make sure from the frame of why am I doing what I'm doing? Is this serving the purpose that I've set out for myself internally of who I not what I want to do, but what I want to become, you know, as a human being. And on a day-to-day basis, like I'll slip up every single day, but it's the reflection and through meditation of making sure always being aware and being able to admit to myself, like if I messed up to myself, like I didn't hold integrity to my own word internally, that I can call myself out on that. And I can call myself out to someone else's face and not feel like I'm crushed inside because of it, and just try to be as honest with myself and other people as possible. So that way I can stay true to that. That's basically, if I were to sum it up, that's what I do on a daily basis that keeps me on the path, really.
Did you, because a lot of people, I think the underlying piece is like knowing what you want. And obviously that's like a dynamic thing that changes right throughout your life.
Yes.
Like 6 years ago, that wasn't the same thing you wanted today. How, because that's also something that I see a lot of people struggling with is they're like, I don't know what I want. Right? How do you get more clear on what it is that you want? Or is it like, I know I definitely don't want that fucking shit, so you get rid of that and you try to focus? Like how do you go about doing that? Like for me, I journal and I write down my goals like every day. So it's something that we know is powerful according to the research. So why not just do it every day?
Yep.
But what do you do?
I think the biggest distinction I made was, and this works for me. So there's two things here. The first is instead of asking what is my purpose, it's like, or what do I want to do? Or I ask myself more of who do I want to become, you know, because what I do outside is just more like a reflection of who I am internally, you know, and I can only do if I'm limited in who I am internally, or if I have blocks internally, I'm not going to be able to do things externally to the same potential that I could. And so it wasn't long ago where I had the kind of shift where I took responsibility for just, okay, whatever I do, what I decide to do is my purpose, and not what, if I have to ask the question, I feel like for me, I'm missing the point a little bit. You know, I need to do action and figure things out. And intuitively, I don't know about you or anyone in chat, but things that have been closer to what I could call a purpose, those things have had more of a resonance and a feeling to them. And there's this almost validation that there's this connection to you and what you're doing and other people in a way that makes things feel right. And for me, I've chased that in numerous different aspects. And like you were saying, things fall off, like you're dynamic, life changes, you change, you're like internally, you decide who you want to be every so often. Like every 7 years, your cells in your body are completely different. And you're technically a completely different person every 7 years. So on that note too, it's like you're going to change, but if you're constantly following what internally is trying to guide you, and you're always open to the lessons that are going to come from every situation you put yourself in, you will ultimately be on a crash course that will be, in my mind at least, where you are headed and where you need to go eventually. You just have to be able to listen to those, and be able to take what is a failure and understand it's not a failure. It's only a failure if you don't learn something from it. And that's what I think really I think about purpose. Really, it's a weird one to think about. It's hard to think about purpose, honestly.
So no. So because this is awesome. I love this. Like these are the Like, these are the conversations that I really enjoy. So I appreciate that. And hopefully you guys in the comments, we're over 70 people watching. So thank you guys for the support. So let's talk about purpose. Because I put some time into this, like mental, like thought into that when I'm journaling and whatnot. And I've been doing it for 3 years now, consistently, daily. And I hear people talk about purpose and like living a life with purpose in it. And I always thought that was like something you needed to find. How do you find what your purpose is to be able to live your purpose? And through like self-exploration, through journaling, I see that finding my purpose isn't anything other than living in the moment with intention for myself. So the intention is the purpose. Like I've got goosebumps because this is like how I try to live my life every day, where every moment for me, if I create intention in that moment to achieve that inner desire of the leader, the person, the man that I want to, the impact that I want to create, that allows me to live in a purposeful way. It allows me to find that purpose. So I know that's something that other people struggle with. I guarantee it's something that other people struggle with. How do you feel like, so for me, I feel like I found my purpose. It's living every moment with intention, intentional action behind it. So how did you find your purpose? Do you feel like you found your purpose? Where are you? Like some things that people can take away and just your journey, because that will be valuable to people who are listening.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to hear both your guys' answers on this, because I think this is such a difficult thing to pin down, and for everyone, or for many people, it's going to resonate differently, and it works differently for everyone in the way. Everyone conceptualizes it very different. I think for me, the thing that I wrestled with it for so long, because I started meditating when I was about 21 years old, 20 years old, and I started doing it more religiously, and that brought up like, it's surprising what meditation can bring up from the depths of what you held in as a kid and teenager and whatnot, and lots of emotions and stuff come. It's very confusing. And so that led me to, I guess, ask questions about, very abstract questions about God and whatnot and higher purpose and blah, all these things. And it kind of got me lost at sea for a little while, where I was almost searching for an answer. Like you were saying, like, what is my purpose? Like, why am I here? And the more I asked myself those questions, and the more I started to really be like, okay, who am I? How am I limiting my own life? And what's really going on here? The more I started to think, I don't know if this question is actually serving me in the right way. I don't think that asking outside of myself for a purpose, it's kind of almost a scapegoat question. It's like not taking responsibility for my own life and my own actions. And so when I had that, I'll say realize, or epiphany, or whatever you want to call it, I had to reset and be like, okay, well, what is purpose, and what is purpose for me? And it was funny, because it was at the point where I had been trying and giving up on things and doing all sorts of little projects to try and get anything going. I would come at it all from the frame of try it for a bit and see how it felt, And I was very much in my feels, I was how everything felt ran my life. I was not able to logically be like, I'm doing this and I'm taking action, even if it sucks for 7 days straight. I am doing this, right? I was unable to do that. Even things I love, like I played guitar since I was 13 years old. And even then, some days where I would be trying to get a certain song done to do recording, I wouldn't feel like it, so I wouldn't do it, right? And I started to realize this about myself. And the moment I did, I was like, okay, that is more of a feminine way of just psychology in general. It's just like without order, without structure. And I needed to reintegrate my own, the masculine in my psyche, essentially. And when I had this kind of, because I've read a lot of like Carl Jung, and I listened to a lot of Jordan Peterson, a lot of these psychologists, and going off the deep end with the psychology was when I kind of put together, how the musical side and the creative side of my life starting to run myself, and I was unable to like logically create structure. And when I had that moment, I was like, okay, if I was then taking the question of purpose and looking at from very abstract outside myself way in a creative way, the opposite of that for more of a masculine and orderly way would be to decide what my purpose is. And so
it's a good fit.
And so at that point I was like, okay, what do I want to become? and how am I going to do it? And I wrote down exactly who I want to become, and for the foreseeable future, this is what I'm aimed at, and everything else that I do in the meantime is an extension of that. And so through that, I found the YouTube channel, I found the business, or the cryptographics, I found this teaching mechanism that came out, and it just went for it all. And that's just like, okay, well, this is not my purpose, but my purpose is here, and this is an extension of my purpose, and I'm just going to follow through with that. And I have a plan. I know exactly what I want to achieve, and it's over the number of years. And so now I just have a plan now. That's how I see purpose. I see it's something you decide, and it's not something that's outside yourself. It's something you come up with internally. And that, I mean, if I was to go even deeper on this without completely rambling, I think that, if your purpose comes through you, right? And that's the higher purpose. Like, you don't find your purpose finds you, and when your internal compass is set right, that purpose is like almost like a channel, and that's where you find if there's a higher purpose, if there is. That's for me what comes through is at that point when you're doing it like that.
That's
so I'd
awesome.
love to know though what you guys think. I would love to hear it.
GRC, let's hear from you where because we're all at different spots in our journey, and there's not anything right or wrong. Everybody's on the journey together in their own spot, and I'm curious to hear where you are in your journey.
I'm the king of the castle every day when I wake up. Like, I don't feel any sort, like, I know I'm so brash and stupid and annoying, but it's just who I am. Like, it's just, I wake up and I just empower myself constantly. Like, I just constantly empower myself. And when I wasn't empowered myself, I would do actions that would empower me back in the day. Like, and I'll be a little brash. There was times where I knew I'm just such a reps guy. I don't even know, when I wake up in the morning, I only can do one thing, and that's what God wants me to do. And that's the thing that's stuck in my head constantly. I just go with the flow. Like, I'm a obsessive human being. It doesn't take a detective to figure out what I'm working on. Like, I wear it, I show it, I feel it, I talk about it. It was bodybuilding for a long time. It was pharmacology for a long time. I wasn't doing business. I was just learning. But as I got older into my 20s, I was like, working for someone else is absolute dumbest garbage you could ever do in your life. Dumbest garbage. You're not a man. Go F off. Go work for him. If he calls the shots in your life, wake up every morning, that guy calls the shots in your gig. I was like, oh, bullshit, I'm not doing that anymore. And when I found Hex Crypto, I said, bye-bye. I said, bye-bye. I said, I don't care if I have 1 T-share, half a T-share, 1,000 T-shares. I'm done working. Because
go ahead.
So,
I'm sorry.
but yeah, I was just empowering myself, basically. I wake up, I know I can be the best crypto content creator that ever lived. There's no question in my mind about that. There never has been. I feel that. I really do. I have on my schedule Joe Rogan, Richard Hart, everyone that I want. They will all occur, guys. There's no question about it. It doesn't matter what anyone says. My parents are going to say I'm crazy. You're never going to be one of those rich guys. Everyone's told me everything. I've always said, I know you think that because I watch everyone and they don't move like me. They don't want to wake up early and work out. I do. I want to wake up earlier. Dude, I push the limits on waking up. So when those guys say I wake up at 3:15 and they give people those whole, like, the Mark Zucker or the Mark Wahlberg like morning routine, I can totally relate to it. I say it sounds normal to me. 3:15, not a better way to start your day than waking up at 3:15, in my opinion, if you go to bed at 8. And so I'm just like, I know the type of person I am. I have learned. So I know what I'm capable of comparatively to other people, but I'm going to use it with passion, just like Richard Hart does. And he's going to do something that benefits everyone. It's going to be a win-win-win for everyone because I'm coming up, I'm bringing all my friends, and I'm telling everyone the truth on the way. That's all I can do to spread as much positivity and power throughout my life. That's all I know how to do.
The underlying, it is awesome. Thank you both for sharing that. And the underlying thing behind it is that it's different for everybody. Everybody's got a different perspective. Thoughts on manifest energy? Oh, this is a good question. Good thought. Okay, so let's hear this from both of you guys, and then I'll answer it. Can you pull that back up one more second? Thoughts on manifest energy. Cooler heads must prevail. So go ahead. Your cryptographics. What are your thoughts on that piece of energy, emotions, and feelings, right? Because you had mentioned a moment ago that you were kind of like drifting through life on emotions and feelings, or I mean, you didn't use the word drifting, but like your feelings, right? And then you came to a point looking for more of a masculine state, and how, like, where are your thoughts on how you go through and manifest feelings? How do you go through and manifest emotions? Like, is it something that happens to you? Are you creating those? Like, I think, go ahead. I'm not going to get my thoughts on that yet.
No, yeah. I think I don't think of like manifesting emotions so much. I do think that manifesting in general is more real than we can actually understand. And the reason I think that is because, you know, our bodies are bioelectrical, bioelectromagnetic or electromagnetic organisms, essentially. Like, we have measurable energy fields that come out from our hearts, right? And if one organ has that, our whole body, like, if you read, there's a book called The Body Electric, and it talks about how the body actually repairs wounds, and it's an incredible book. It's from a guy back in, I think it was like all the way from the days of when penicillin was first invented. He was in basically doing all these experiments in medical research, and he was doing a lot of medical research for how wounds heal. And what you find in that book is just how incredible the human body is. Like, we have these literally electronic, like, it's, I don't even know how to put it. Basically, we have, I can't explain it properly, but we have like piezomagnetic bones, or our bones are actually emitting light, like, because of, there's a little, like, I think it's the collagen mixed with these little crystallites that are on our bones, literally creates a certain kind of signal that can only be accepted by the body because of that crystal, because the way the actual signal is translated through the bone, specifically through that. So our body has these incredible features electronically, and everything in our brains are like hyper connect. Like, if our bodies have these electrical signals going through them, our brain is literally the supercomputer, right? It is the electronic computer in our brain. Everything is connected, like, electromagnetically. And if our body has this field, then, for me at least, that impulse of thought is a small electromagnetic signal. And those electromagnetic signals, whether we want to, I believe, admit it or not, the Earth has an electromagnetic field. So no matter what we do, if we're living, the electromagnetic field or anything that we create is connected to that, right? And if we go super deep, like, however you want to look at it, like how consciousness is connected to electromagnetism and the Earth, we don't know how deep that goes. So for me, this fact that you can, and I wonder if you guys have experienced this as well. The more you visualize something, the more your thought is connected to a certain ideal or a certain way of being or a certain outcome, the more things start to fall in line, as if it was almost meant to happen. But to me, thoughts are things, like, they're real. They are an extension of ourselves and more real than we admit. And they connect to that. And they're essentially putting out to whatever and connecting us to that and putting us on that path. They're so real in my mind that we can't even fathom it. Like, it's crazy. Well, think about, you go in a room, right? And how often have, like, you ever had it where, like, you're thinking something and someone says the thing you're thinking, you know?
No, but that's the example I was going to bring up. How many times have you been like, I should text CryptoGRFX. I should text GRC and say what's up. I haven't talked to him today or in a couple of days. 3 minutes later, oh shit, look who's calling. Like, yeah. It happens like 100% all the time. What GRC? Where are you? I really like the way you put that with the thoughts are actual things, because we think of things, but we can only conceptualize things in the physical sense. And it's challenging for people to conceptualize that thoughts are things, because we think of things as in, like, this jar, the pen, this desk. But in reality, the thoughts are the things that we get to use as the author to, like, write out how we want our journey to go. And those thoughts, right, are the things that create the actions. Like, you're like, hey, this falls into place. Hey, I get this phone call. Somebody starts talking about this in this room. And when we go through and create those thoughts that lead to the emotion, this is how I see it, is those thoughts are what leads to, like, if I get into a disagreement with somebody or we're butting heads on something, You may choose to respond in one way. I may choose to respond in a different way. There was that guy, Al Frankel or something, who wrote the Meaning of Man or something like that. He was in like the Nazi war Auschwitz place or whatever. And I think it was him who talked about there's a tiny space between stimulus and response. And
Yes.
right, was that the right guy? Like, and that
Well, I've heard this from someone else, and you're speaking the exact same thing that I've heard about from someone else. So please continue. But yeah, you're bang on with this.
And so like I'm in charge of how I want to respond. So if but we hear the verbiage in society that like I responded, I was angry because he did this to me. But it was really because I decided to create that emotion, because that space for some people is so small that you like can't stick anything between my fingers because they're so tightly pressed together. But you have the stimulus and the response. But for me, the more I'm able to like create that awareness, right? And how do you create the awareness? It's just when you notice it one time, recognize it, because then you can notice it a second time and recognize it again, right? But that space continues to expand so that I can create the emotions I want. And that's, for me, tremendously powerful. And that's one of the reasons why I'm able to live today in a state where I'm happy every day. I'm excited every day. I'm fulfilled. Like sometimes I'm so excited to like just do life. Like it's just awesome. You know what I mean? I'm just excited about life. People are like, "What are you taking?" And because I'm trying to. Those are the emotions I want to create. I'll spend time journaling. Like, what emotions do I want in my life? Do I want frustration? Do I want anger? Do I want stress? And it's like, well, I want this. I want happiness. I want love. I want caring. I want to experience like other people's awesome points of view and learn from people. Like I want to, and then I go through and do these things that create these emotions in me. And it's like, I feel like I call it like a superpower. Like it's like, to me, it's like, wow, I get to do this. And other people just haven't realized this yet or something. Like, it's so crazy. GRC, what were your thoughts on what we're talking about with emotions? I know that like you're very like,
emotions can come when people don't expect them to. Like that's the one thing. When you're in a good place and you're single and you have no kids and no one's dying around you, everything's fine, right? But they say if you don't train yourself for the moments that will occur, you will just be as flimsy as you are in those moments in general. And those moments will occur. And it breaks most men. They turn to drug abuse. They turn to alcohol every night. They turn to saying that they're okay doing the same thing for the rest of their life when deep down they wake up every morning and they just want to die because they're like, I have to go back to the fucking office. I can't believe I have to do this. The retirement plan doesn't look right. Like it doesn't look, the numbers aren't adding up. I'm gonna have to work till I'm 75. Like that's what motivates me, to be honest. Like that at the smallest sense, but emotions come and go. A girl could come in your life and absolutely ruin it. And I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but I'm saying there's people that are predatory as well. Like, I've had girls come into my life, me being the social butterfly I am. I don't think anything of it other than everyone's probably being nice. And, and they will come into your life, lie to your face, tell you one thing that's not true, and make sure you find out about it. And it's true. It's happened to me. It destroyed me several times because I trust people sometimes. I think now my emotions, I'm worried, are getting too shut off would be my bigger concern now. It's like I can detach from everything now. I don't care so much about what occurs. I used to care that, I'd like to be out with my friends because I'd like to make sure everyone, like I want to be social. Now I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
When you look back at one of those times, right, where you were like, the girl did this type of thing, and then this is how you felt in that response. What if, like, hypothetically, if you were to say,
and a lot of that was my fault too.
Yes, because like and how I see it, and everybody could be differently, but if you were to take that example and you were like describing it as a third party to cryptographic, as in, hey, there is this scene, right? This dude is in this situation. This girl comes into his life in a certain way. And right, it's a scene that you get to write, and how that person
100% does not have kids. That's what he says on there.
Rusty is awesome. He reached out to me on Twitter, and he is just awesome. Like every once in a while, he just has some really awesome things to say, and I do appreciate
So funny.
You'd be a cool dad, yeah. You would be a cool dad. I bet that's the thing. If Sam had a kid, he'd be exactly the same. Like Sam's a weirdo. Like he would just schedule it in properly and just schedule it in. Like be like hour with child here, gym now. Hour with child when I get back. 2 videos later.
Yeah.
So we can go touch on some comments. I know we were diving really deep on some different stuff, which CryptoGRFX, I appreciate you sharing everything, and GRC, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you guys for sharing as well. That was awesome.
Everyone's just vibing with the conversation. No one's really. It's mostly just interjection about everything we're saying. J4J 33 Everlasting was coming in here with all the God speak, and we appreciate that here. I'm not a God hater by any means. I don't believe in any specific verbiage or speech, but I just. Obviously there's an easier way to connecting with God is way more than just some verbiage or speech. It's just way deeper than that. Anyone who's had a relationship with their, it's just like there's the immediate self and then it's like the other self, right? It's just like what you think about. And
go ahead.
No, go
I
ahead.
had a experience with mushrooms. And I'm not saying anybody should do this or anything like that.
I want
to. And I sometimes want to go past what is normal for other people to see if what they're saying is accurate. Is that the real reality for me if I go through those steps? And that led me to 11 grams of mushrooms. So if anybody's ever had an experience with mushrooms, it is not a good idea. It's
oh, you're a savage.
It's 6 times what somebody might take as a decent sized dose. A decent sized dose might be 2 grams, maybe 3 grams. If somebody really wants to go deep, and I don't go
3.5 grams is the recommended dose for the average first time user that really wants to feel it. But because a lot of times I would have friends, they would recommend one gram, but everybody's different in the quality of the stuff. But the point of getting to 11, and you had talked about God, and I don't know if I say God, right, as in a bigger entity or energy or field or whatever that might be for the individual. You got to the point, I had no idea anything else that was going on, but to the point where it was you're questioning everything, and you get to the point, at least I did, and I'm questioning life in the sense that you have to be okay. You have to let go of everything that you hold on to. And everything, doesn't matter what it is, it's just baggage of some sort. It's just something that we're holding on to that's not allowing us to move forward. And it got to the point of death. And we're told, or we're perceived, that death is a negative, right? There's a lot of crying and a lot of sorrow and a lot of bad things that happened. And a lot of the times, in order for us to grow, all we just need to do is see a different point of view and be receptive to that point of view. And we're oh shit, I never thought about it like that. And then we're in a different spot because we see it from a different angle, right? Looking out this window here, if I stand outside and look in, I just see things differently. And I'm there, I can't get out. When you take mushrooms, you can go be feeling okay, I'm in this room, and then you're you have no idea where you are, right? I was gone, and there was no coming back. There was absolutely no coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm there questioning whether it's okay
How
to
old
die. This was 3 years ago. It was just
nice.
I got arrested once while I was tripping balls.
I did it at home, but it was
I did it at home too, but I fled because I was afraid. I thought all my friends were trying to have sex with me. They're all guys, and I swear to God, I was
I ran too.
We were all watching LeBron Miami Heat finals. I can't remember what year it was when Ray Allen hit that corner shot, and I was they kept looking at me just normal, when oh shit, dude, the game is just sick, and I was just oh my God, and I was oh no. One of my friends 6'7", the other these are big motherfuckers, and I was they're going to get their hands on me. I was like, I'm out of hit this bitch. For no reason. And I ended up getting locked up that night. And my friends never left the couch. They're like, dude, where the fuck did you go, brother? Like, we were all watching football. I was just like, I have no fucking clue, bro.
Well, the thing that I realized at that night was that what if, and the POV changed. Dying is actually the best thing that's ever happened because you can merge those things versus thoughts, or you're in that space where you are just creating anything that you want. And that was a very interesting point. Like, I definitely never, ever want to do that again, but it was definitely a very like.
You wouldn't microdose mushrooms?
I wouldn't even microdose at this point. I don't
Really? You wouldn't?
Wow.
That was
Traumatizing.
Yeah, I would say it should be traumatizing for me as well. But once you understand dosage and frequency, you can kind of get. But okay. But like, that's just something you don't want to fuck with. It's something you don't want.
I don't even.
You're also getting older, and you don't care about like experimenting with your thought as much because you're just like, I've done lots of experimentation at this point.
Lots and lots of experience.
You definitely mess things up pretty quick by going in too often. That's for sure. You get a thing going that can shake everything back up.
So many lab rats we've worked on over these years, like, hundreds and hundreds of lab rats.
Yeah. So we've been talking about a lot of awesome stuff, and I appreciate all the insight. Let's get back into crypto a little bit.
Right.
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 Back to the morning. Where are you at right now in crypto with how you see things moving forward in your channel and all that, like with the ecosystem, but also just how it's macro view and everything?
I think that, it depends, honestly. I think that the way that us as content creators go about our business is really going to shape things in the macro sense. When pulsechain goes, I think if we can really find out what is the most useful way to utilize our time to get more people to understand, the people that I feel like the people that get in, this is what I've seen, people that understand it for a moment or like they have a question answered and they start to understand a little more. It's like a snowball effect, not even from the questions they ask, but from how deep they want to dive into it, And so from a macro level, what makes the most sense for me from what I've seen based on my channel so far is getting people to understand that piece of the puzzle that makes them even the most interested they've ever been in pulsex, pulsechain, or hex is like one of the most important pieces going right now. And so I think macro wise, at least for my channel, I think I'm going to focus mostly on that. As much as I want to know the nitty gritty and the micro details, I think I want to focus on those initial stages of people's knowledge. But for the growth of the overall ecosystem, or for a community as a whole, and I just see us, because the thing we have gates in the way. We have the Furus, we have Binance, we have CoinMarketCap, we have all of these things that are kind of putting what could be off and prolonging it, And so I think that there's this, the way I see it is like a dam at this point. The Furus and the gates and all these things that are stopping us are like a dam, and slowly the water's rising. And at some point, this dam is either going to break or it's going to start to overflow. And there's no way it's going to be held back. The power of what Richard's trying to do and what Hex has, the potential for what pulsechain has as a whole for people, because it's a rebirth of Ethereum, and it's like, this is the thing that I haven't really been able to get across yet in my videos. I haven't touched on it. Is if we've seen what Ethereum's done as a whole, and we're getting a second shot at that, that should be one of the most important discoveries in crypto for you. Like, if there's another project that's out there that's going to do really well, cool. But there's the birth of something that is a copy of what's already been and has been incredibly successful, And I think when we get those points across and when people discover that, it's just going to be like this explosion. And as soon as the gates come down, I think the world has no choice but to accept domination, really, by pulsechain, pulsex, and hex.
What do you think? Because I think a lot of people who have a little bit of a grasp of crypto just see it as another blockchain. So
right.
How do you break through that, like that? Because we have ADA and like Solana and
biggest free airdrop ever occurred.
But I feel like there's still so much even within it that don't understand what is happening. Right?
They don't need to, really. The money will speak for itself. Like, people look for value in crypto. It's like a vacuum almost. The people that are in crypto, if they see immutable code, or not immutable code, but if they see decentralization, free yield, liquidity farming for safe, protocols that have good security, they're going to move their money there. It doesn't matter. He's just really good at advertising as well. But even if we didn't advertise, it would just take a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I liked how you put that, and I am inspired with my content to do more of what you're saying on the on that like initial level, because most of the time I go really deep into things, and it's a fun journey, but I also see how tremendously, and I know, like you know how valuable it is, and you know that you're in like a different spot, and you got to come back to like reality where 97% of people dwell. You don't have to, but like, the further you go down the rabbit hole, the less the people are down there, right? But coming to that point where everybody is, and I am inspired to do more of those, whether it's in crypto or fitness, from your like monologue a second ago. But I actually got to run. My girlfriend and I are going to be doing stuff today. She's back into town. CryptoGRFX, I want to thank you and acknowledge you for coming on and sharing your story with us, and for sharing your knowledge with the community. That's been helpful to me. I'm inspired to do more shit with my stuff, and thank you for your time. If anybody wants to check out anything I'm putting out, you can just check Sam Stoll on any of the platforms out there. Thank you, guys. GRC.
Thanks,
yes.
It was awesome to meet you. I absolutely look forward to the next time we talk and hang out. This has been so much fun.
And if I can help with anything, or like around like social media type stuff or fitness related stuff, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. Also, anybody in the comments too, but I'm happy to help.
I absolutely will. Cheers.
Make your DMs open on Twitter.
Cool. Yeah. I will figure out how to do that right now before we go do something. Peace out, guys.
Everyone texts me and they're like, "How do you go to Sam?" And I'm like, "Sam."
Okay, I'll do that right now. Peace out, guys.
Thank you.
All right, peace, brother.
So there's actually a little bit of breaking news. There is a free Stakes and Apes is coming on. The premier Hex NFT person. I don't know what to call him, but he's a freaking maniac. I know a maniac when I see one. And this guy gives away all sorts of stuff. Look what he's giving. I don't know what the fuck this is, but let's check it out.
It looks
dope to me. Yeah, he's giving it away. Let's see what his terms and stipulations are. He's coming on the show in a minute here.
Oh, right.
Hex in the morning with special guests. You can leave whenever you want, of course. You can stay on. I'm going to be chilling here for another 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
That works perfect. That's another 30 minutes is perfect for me.
Perfect. So we got going on in 10 to give away this beautiful ring. You need to learn how to put the stipulations in the tweet, but we'll give you. Ooh, that thing looks nice. Imagine if you had that thing at IRL. That would be badass.
That's what I was thinking. That thing looks like that's like Super Bowl ring kind of quality. If
RH would rock that, baby. That's what he does. He probably wants RH to see it and then say, "Oh, I want that thing to be made," and then it becomes like an NFT. But he already has the design. That would be pretty cool.
He's got the only actual NFT.
We'll see. He's right here with us. My man. The giveaway master, the NFT master, the hustler master, and the Hexagon super soldier, Stakes and Apes.
Stake.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? How you doing today?
What's Gucci, my guy?
Yo, nothing much. Just getting out here, working hard, promoting Hex, promoting pulsechain, promoting pulsex.
Tell us the stipulations to the NFT giveaway.
So last night I actually posted to the stipulations. I said it's going to one of my ETH Genesis holders. So the way I design my my production / giveaways and stuff like that is, so I meant Polygon ones. So Polygon, cheap, fast network, transactions very low. I mean, almost worth nothing at some point. It's literally just manual labor at this time. I mean, my thumb is killing me from sending out all these NFTs, guys. So many link clicks, so many addresses. But so what I do is I'll mint like 100 on Polygon, and I'll give them away for free for advertisement. Promoting GemRat, promoting whoever wants, and then I'll mint one on ETH, and I'll list it for 0.1. So, my dedicated supporters, if they want to support the message, that we're doing and stuff like that, I tell them go buy Hex first. I literally say, everybody go buy Hex, make sure you stack for pulsex and pulsechain, make sure you have a bag of dry powder ready for pulsechain, pulsex, because there's going to be some dips and we're going to have to buy them up. But my true supporters, they, most people in the NFT community, they value the ETH ones. They value that smart contract, and they know that's the one getting copied over to pulsechain. So yeah, I've sold some and stuff like that, but I do the Polygon promos for free. And we've been getting a lot of work lately. So I had to start, if like people want custom pieces, we'll usually charge them 0.1 because, all the artists I use, they're tattoo artists. So they do this every single day. They're all in the Hex community and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. We've been rocking it, But yeah, so that NFT, actually, it was posted probably about 2 weeks ago by the Hex NFT project. I think it's just a couple guys who are like doing renderings and stuff like that. They're doing great work for the Hex community. They need a little help with their, their promos and their giveaways and their, engagement. All right. When you got 3,000 followers on Twitter and, you're only 100,000 following them, people are going to look at that and be like, so I'm just trying to help out the Hexagon community, the influencers and stuff like that, because that's why I have a background in, marketing, sales and stuff like that. That's what I literally do right now. So I see these like little things where people can do better. So don't get mad at me whenever I come and critique you and say, hey, I think we should, if we did this, this would be a lot better, because right now our number one influencer has 25,000 followers on Twitter. Hexologist. That ain't shit.
I know.
We have premier products. Why don't we have these guys with 1 million followers, fucking 2 million?
We're coming up. I'm getting like 75 subs to 100 subs a day on Twitter.
Bro, you're killing it. You're
a
killing
day,
it.
and I'm not even doing anything. Like I'm just literally retweeting my Hex in the Morning shit at this point. But I was in the Hexagon community just grinding it out on feet, working my full-time job for so long that it was just like, once I made the transition, I just documented the whole thing. I was like, okay, I went from working, then I quit my job completely. I did it not because I had the money. I did it because I was so effing sick of listening to someone else speak when I woke up in the morning. I just didn't want it anymore, bro. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't give it any effort. I was giving it like 50% effort at that point. And I was not doing what I needed to be doing anymore. I had to be on my phone because I was missing the updates and I was starting to stream. And I was like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work.
I've been in the Navy for 10 years now, and I couldn't realize why people got out after 10 years, because at 20 years you can retire. So you're halfway there, but you're like capped out on your potential essentially, because, it's federal. You're base pay chart, like you're capped. It's based off, how much time you serve and how high you climb the ladder. You can't ever like get to that next level and, make serious money from a 9-to-5 like that. So, I get out of the Navy in February next year. And so I'm building right now. And then, once I get out next year, I'm gonna be full-time doing this. And like the work that I'm putting in now, I know is just going to make it so much easier whenever I get out. So I'm just going to grind doing this, promoting, shilling the hell out of the Hearts ecosystem, and then, just keep rolling from there. But yeah, these Hex NFT guys, this dude took him 15 days to render this ring, and they're actually making physical pieces.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Render.
I'm not an artist, so I don't know.
Does render just mean like the about going through and like creating it however they do that?
Yeah, like just building it from the programs and stuff. I haven't physically ever rendered anything.
15 days. Wow.
15 days in his room, man. These are some great guys. They got some potential. They just need a little help with sales and marketing, and
let's pull it up again. Let's pull it up again.
Here, let me send you the link in the chat.
Send anything up and pull anything up. Anything you
that
want.
ring is fire, by the way.
You still are. You're kind of wiggling around the whole. How the heck do we get it? I'm not gonna claim it because you're just doing it on my show, but I want to know if someone can get it. CryptoGRFX wants to throw his email into something. Where's he got to do? I mean, come on. I know he likes NFTs. I mean, I don't buy NFTs, but I like them. Like, I think
Yo,
they're
everybody
dope as fuck.
secretly likes NFTs in the
It's
Hex
not a
community.
secret. They're dope. It's like Pokemon cards. People make NFTs.
Oh,
of
dude,
things.
exactly.
They're dope.
But that's exactly how they're designed to. And then their marketing tactics, they're telling you that you're going to 5x your bag on your Pokemon card. No, dude. Like, you got to think whenever you got that pack of Pokemon cards, that pack of baseball cards, there was only one in that pack that was that holographic special edition that was worth something, in 10 years.
Mhm.
So, like, people are, tugging on people's heartstrings by saying, oh, this is the next 10x. This is going to be the biggest metaverse. When in reality, bro, like, that's just a fucking cash grab. They're literally spending about $2 million in ads and marketing and paying influencers. And then they're netting about 32 million worth of ETH in less than 30 seconds. Like, dude, that shit.
And then they
insane.
run. And then they run.
And then they run, dude. They take the
Yeah.
money and they fucking roll. Like,
And then
the money-
everyone still follows the fuckers.
Exactly.
Crazy. I don't understand it. If GRC wouldn't get it, he'd be pulled on a stake.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
somehow have learned marketing so well that they can rip off everyone that follows them and they can love them more. How many people got ripped off by Dogecoin buying the top at 72 cents and just love Elon to death? I'm like, you guys, he like 300% pump and dumped you. Like in one day, all over the news, and everyone's still on his team. It's like,
and everybody still loves Elon. Hell, I still love Elon. All right.
Me too. Congo.
Hard, yeah, it's hard to hate.
Yeah, it's
hard to
crazy. Marketing is ass backwards, and we're going to use the same tactics those ass backwards dudes use, but we're just going to have a product that actually has legs on it.
Yeah,
because you have to be a spam these days a bit, but if people catch on to your spams and like them, it seems it's very powerful. Like it's because that's how I do it. All right, Stakes. Let's open this up.
Yeah, let's open this bad boy up, man.
Okay, this is the open sea. Let's go. We're getting all the way in.
This is gonna show the 3D animation.
This is like the fourth time I've opened OpenSea. Every time I get something sent to me. Okay, here. Wow. Would you look at that? Ooh, there's text on it. Let me stop that.
That's fire.
Yo, there's actually there's somebody that is doing the physical piece.
It says Hex at Hex Crypto, founded by Richard Hart at Richard Hart Win, the world's first high interest bearing certificate of deposit blockchain, trustless, permissionless, open source, immutable, censorship resistant store of value. Ugh.
Wow.
Bro, there's some guy who's doing the physical piece. I'm trying to find him right now. Aaron Barnett on Twitter is the one who's doing the physical pieces for this the Hex NFT guy ring. So I mean, I don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't know if anybody's going to like order and stuff like that, but they are making a physical IRL piece. But the whole reason why I'm here today, we'll come back to that. I got NFTs to give away. One of these are going to my Genesis holder. All right. And then let me show. We got to play this ad.
Anything you pull, just pull the shit up and I can just share screen. You know how to do it. All right. So all you do is press share. All you do is press share.
Uh-huh.
And then it'll ask you to attach your browser tab.
All right.
And then it'll come to the bottom here and I'll just add it up.
All right. Video file, share screen.
Yep. And then go to that tab in particular. Make sure your seed phrases aren't on the back of your wallpaper and you're good to go.
And then you just throw it in the window part.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We got to get you up to stuff.
Yo, dude, my streaming's been struggling lately. Like, we're getting ready to start, a JPEG Junkie show. So we're going to start, getting the NFT community in there. We love parodies. We love trolling. That's all this shit is about. It's pure entertainment. All right. So
we love it. We love it.
Awesome.
We love the transparency. Come on, Stakes. You got this. Pull this baby up. This is bad radio.
I'm sorry. Do some bicep flexes for me, man.
I got a long sleeve on. Today. It's cold.
It's cold. All right, hold on. I'm just going to the OpenSea.
Here, I'll do it.
Let's go.
Oh, I don't know what you're looking for. Yeah, I need to drop
Yeah,
the
let
link.
me get it. I'm pulling it up. Bad for radio.
This
Apes
is
and
bad
biceps in
radio.
the chat, guys. Let's
Oh
go.
wait, let me do a little plug real quick. Since we're at 63 live viewers, we got the lovers in here, guys. Hex in the morning every single day, 11 a.m. If you're in here, subscribe to the channel ASAP. I got so much shit on my notepad for things I'm going to do this year. It's sick and disgusting. You want to be involved now. Stakes, you want to be involved now. Everyone get involved now. We're pushing. I'm a full-time. CryptoGRFX is here. We're getting this team together. We're not all working together contractually, but I know him. I can tell already. It's way better to be with people that are preaching the same message as you, and you can just help each other out by, just spreading the word about it. It's just easier to get more fans if more people see his shit. There's people that want to know more technical shit. They'll go straight to his stuff. And there's people that just want to chill there in the morning and drink coffee, and they'll come to my stuff. You know what I mean? It's just perfect.
Are you able to play the audio? Make sure you play the audio. The audio is where it's at. This shit hypes me the fuck
My
up.
producer, Jamie, is in the background. See, I'm hands-free, guys. You like that? You like that, CryptoGRFX?
That's pretty. Yeah, I like that a lot.
You like that?
There's no audio.
Oh, damn. The audio's on
In the
now.
share function in one of the windows, there should be a check mark or something to actually be able to share the audio with the window that you're capturing from.
Yeah, it might be on your end, Stiggs.
But I sent you the link though.
Yeah, but my producer Jamie is in the background.
Oh.
You get it, producer Jamie? Like,
Well,
Joe
you know, in
Rogan.
Telegram,
I like that. Yeah.
what if the video that I sent you in Telegram?
Damn, dude, this shit's dope. Yeah. Hold on one sec. Maybe
Those
I can.
shades.
Yo,
Let me
bro.
Oh,
Yeah, we got to get the audio. We got to get this
All
video
right, all right.
playing live.
All right, I got it. Okay. I'm such a noob at this, guys. My radio.
Yo,
See,
I'm telling
Stakes, you come on here unprepared and you F up my show. That's all that.
all Stakes' fault.
I blame myself.
You're blowing holes in my game right now.
Clip it. All right.
Oh, God. I mean, anything that you want to put up, I'm forcing you to put in the private chat. You're not allowed to come on here and make me dig around online. I need you to give me these links. And if you want something to be shown, you just put it into the private chat. And here we go.
Oh yeah.
Producer Bullish.
Yo, restart that bad boy. Let's go. Let's get
Yes.
some hype.
Let's get some hype, guys. Let's fucking go.
Yo,
go.
apes and biceps in the chat.
Ooh, that was clean, brother.
No.
Ooh.
Why'd you just take it off?
Oh, my bad, bro. I didn't know. What
Jesus Christ.
It's all right. We're good.
Oh no.
It's all right. That was my bad. I clicked it off. I thought that was the end of it.
No. Total fail.
No, here we go. Let's go. The end part is choppy. I'm not going to lie.
It's supposed to be choppy.
No, I'm just kidding. That was
You
wonderful.
killed the hype. The beat dropped, and then you literally killed the hype, man.
You want to start it over from the bottom? And can we
That
just
song
hype
is
it out
fire,
again?
by the way.
Let's
No,
start
I got it posted on my Twitter. Go and like, share, retweet, check it out. Jim Rat Crypto. I suggest, nobody come on his show. Everybody unsubscribe right now.
Yeah.
It's that you weren't prepared for my show. This is a top tier elite group of super scientists on this show. And if you don't come, yeah, dude, JR wants it to start it. I kind of want to start over too to see that transition.
Yeah,
let's go with
the
that. I like that.
transition was where it's at.
Well, then pull it up, bro. This is radio, baby.
Go.
Let's do it. Let's go. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's a teaser. It's a teaser. That's what
It is a teaser. It's a teaser.
It's
That's a dope teaser.
It's a great teaser. Now I want the shades in IRL. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Everything that you guys put out, I'm just like, is there a real version of that? I'll take the NFT and the real shades.
Yes. So we are contacting. Shit, let's bring the hype again.
Yes, go.
But, yeah, we're actually reaching out to designers and stuff right now. Definitely been talking to Crypto Stylist. I know she's been on here a lot lately, but that's the advertisement. Click on that collection, the scroll up, follow the heart hexagon NFT branding. So this is the collection we started. Scroll down. I'll talk about a couple of the pieces. All right. So that's the one we're giving away for official pulsification. DM me your address and say official pulsification if you want that one. We did a promo for Sequoia Stone. She's doing NFT titties and stuff like that.
NF titties.
Yeah, my bad. All right. That's the one we did for Crypto Stylist. That piece right there. We're going to be giving those away.
She's looking dangerous.
Yes, very dangerous.
Very. If you're watching this, Crypto Stylist, you're looking absolutely dangerous.
So I've definitely been talking to her about potentially getting, the IRL pieces. She said she was going to reach out to a couple designers and, get them for us, some samples. And then that's just a troll one that NW Hexon made. All right, scroll down a little bit. We're doing a giveaway for the Hex DeLorean for his new tshare.io front end that he's doing, Matty Allen. And then scroll down. This is just some random graphic designs that people have been doing. I just randomly do giveaways.
I like that one. I like that one on the right.
Yeah, it is nice.
I like the futuristic.
And then there's one.
Imagine if you were rocking those shades in real life, dude. That'd be nice.
Bro, so there's a 3-tier system. So the tier 1 is 0.11. And what you're going to get with that is you're going to get the first IRL piece. And you're going to get the 3D animation piece airdrop to you on pulsechain. So you saw at the end where the 3D animation ones. So they're going to get the 3D animation ones. And then the tier 3 gets you 25% off the IRL pieces with the 3D. So all of them are getting the 3D animation airdrop. And then tier 1's getting the pieces for the physical piece glasses for free. Tier 2 is 50% off, and Tier 3 is 25% off. But yeah, man, we're just out here promoting with some badass graphic designs.
Those are so sick.
Yeah, those are freaking awesome. Those guys are so talented. Whatever they're doing on their computers is absolutely amazing. I don't know how people design stuff like that. I've never gotten into that part of like graphics or anything like as far as creating them, but yeah, no, it's incredible what you got. There's so many ways to spread it around in this community, and you can profit from it properly, and you can push pulsechain and pulsex and everything at the same time. You don't have to lie about your intentions or put your you could easily just be like, you could do the whole thing. You could do the whole normal ass NFT way. You'd probably be fine, but you would intellectually, people would be like, F him,
Yeah, I would definitely have a lot more people saying, oh, fuck those guys. I mean, when I first started and stuff, I mean, that's what you're getting and stuff like that. A lot of hate from a lot of the hexkins. So I had to do it completely different. I could have used all of the scam tactics all the scammers were using, paying for shills, doing this, doing that. But no, since I'm in the Hex community, I had to, flip the script on what everybody else was doing shitty, use their same tactics, but just give away NFTs for free. I've given away over 3,000 NFTs for free so far, and like literally have nothing but Hex.com, pulsechain, pulsex. And have I made some money along the way? Yeah. All right. Some people, reached out, they bought my ETH pieces and stuff like that, but I'm not shilling them. I'm not telling people you're going to get 10,000x or anything fucking crazy from them.
Same with the shields too. Like people always hit me up about them. I'm like, yo, if you're broke, don't fucking buy a fucking war shield. I'm like, if you're broke, don't buy a decorative war shield. Like should not be on your top of your list. But if you're rich and you don't give a fuck, go ahead. But like I always tell people, it's like, why don't spread yourself thin? And then it's always the young kids that buy the shit that don't have any money. It's like they're like on their last 2,000 and they like put 500 aside for the shield. I'm like,
yo, this is gonna be worse.
You could have divvied that up a little bit. Like you could have gone pulse chain, pulse X. He's like war shield. Like I'm like value proposition might not be. Richard Hart's getting this one. This is the first one ever made.
Oh, for real?
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, I already told him. He said whenever we see each other that I can give it to him. And well, he might not remember that conversation, but he did say it to me. He was like, I was like, I'm trying to give you the shield. He said, if you ever come to an event or something.
If you ever come to an event.
Like one of the ones overseas, I guess, because he ain't coming to the States. That's for
he ain't coming to the States. I don't think he can make it.
Probably not.
Yo, Wales, what's Gucci, my mans? How you doing?
What's up, Wales?
Wales in the morning. It's Wales in the morning. I'll change the show.
Tell Wales to hang out real quick. The Vortexican, he just sent me something, and he got a little audio file, and he's name dropping. I think he's name dropping Wales in there.
Wait! What is this?
Ooh.
What is this? What are you talking about?
I got something special for Wales.
No drama on Hex in the morning.
No, dude, we're all about the drama. We bring the drama.
Wales, I have nothing to do with this man.
What do I do now? Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing a show on Maximus DAO on Monday. Everyone's going to want to tune into that one. That's going to be a deep dive into the Maximus DAO new protocol. I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to say what it is exactly, but it's something that incentivizes the staking of Hex in some way, and I'm sure there's free money associated with it. So everyone, keep your ears up. And we're gonna have the guy that Gold Key on, the guy who the founder, I believe. I don't know exactly the people behind it, but I'll take a link if you got one, Wales. I can't deny you a link. I've listened to over 100,000 hours of you ranting on the internet.
All right, guys.
I can't.
This might be a little poor quality since I'm just playing it from my screen, from my laptop right now.
It was poor quality the minute you got on, brother. Just keep rolling with it.
Yo, Hex Orca would be so ashamed of me right now.
That's all right. That's what we like. That means you're onto something.
All right, I'm dropping.
When Hex
3,
Orca.
2, 1.
Everybody feels back, switching X flex, flex, this is live. We're not claiming to know if he's for sure. Picture was hammered. Do your own research. Give no one your seed phrase. Imposters are everywhere. Can't trust anyone these days. Gratification delayed. Locked up. My lips are sealed. My unlockable content will soon be revealed. Stored in an NFT. Get it off of OpenSea. Pulse chain is coming. Mintra welcomes you openly. Sounds like some snake oil pyramid scheme. Cryptos for criminals. You didn't hear it from me. Fundamentals. We are decentral. Hold on for dear life. The sacrifice is fundamental. Fundamentals. We are decentral. Hold on for dear life. The sacrifice is fundamental. Immersed in data in the metaverse. I'm after another staking ladder. Let's be for some chitter in the Twitter space, collaborating on another matter. I'ma take you on a mission to attack the system.
Twitter space.
That's dope.
On my computer, no one knows
shadows. I'm a star, undercover geek, chic, incognito, millionaire. Glimmer in my eye is the hex joker, villain stare. Hexaquin, come on, you could ride with the vortex again. Ra-da-da, up into the rank, you sexy hexagons. Working out in crypto gym, that's gymnasium. Official falsification is occupied my brain again. I wanna talk yield farming, the shields are so charming. I wanna use them against anyone who feels like harming this community. We gotta build in immunity, strengthen all your weaknesses, and take this to the moon, baby. Fundamentals. We are decentral. Hold on for dear life. The sacrifice is fundamental. Fundamentals. We are decentral. Hold on for dear life. The sacrifice is fundamental. Mind of the astronauts. You have diamonds in your backyard. Hex the black swan, giving abundance to the have-nots. Didn't see us coming. Now the storm's on the horizon. Pulse chain reaction is something to keep your eyes on. Players in this game, there's no time to retire. Extend your expiration date before you expire. Longevity, escape velocity. I wanna see it if I can see it, believe it. Bet your sweet ass I can't achieve it. Waking up with crypto coffee. Huddle dog, we're taking names. Watching Freddy steak and bake. Staking apes and late games. K4K. Sergeant 3 rags to riches. Try to disrespect us and we'll hex slap you glitches. Time to set sail. Course to get whales only spits knowledge like a blunt force instrument. We're killing this like a group of villainous millionaires. Prepared civilians are missing over $1 trillion shares. Hexagons, yeah, the stakes are only getting higher. You're the highest of stakes in Richard Hart's empire.
That's sick.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Was
we're
that-
working on some things.
Was that Louder by the original, like, you know, the guitar in Louder by Black Eyed Peas, the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, like that? Was that what that's from? It sounds like it was sampled from that.
It might have been. I'm not a production guy, you know.
Right.
They just send me the work and I listen to it, and I'm like, that's badass, man. Like, let's fucking.
That was Freddie. That was
Either
Freddie
way,
Quotes,
that was
right?
fire.
No, that was the Vortexican, the Freddie.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know if that was.
I
like
haven't
a
heard
new
of him.
thing. Yeah,
Nah,
shout him out. Who is that?
Vortexican. We're retiring Freddie Quotes. We're taking over. All right.
That's
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Freddie.
Oh,
Don't troll me. Next thing I know, I'm gonna be.
Freddie's
on
gonna
call.
beat that ass. I'm gonna set up a no. Let's see it. Let's see. Steak's a big boy. Let's go 1v1. Freddie would be like, "Let's do it. Fuck it." I can see Freddie. I can see Freddie in a jailhouse, like getting in fights for some reason. He seems a scrappy little one. Oh, actually, I don't know, guys. Let's welcome someone on the stream. Someone who's made a big impact in this community. Someone who's continuously put their work out there, show the people the love, show the people some real information rather than absolute bullshit pleb information. Whales only.
Oh, here we go.
What's good, man?
What's good, G?
Whales.
How you guys doing?
Man, we're doing great. We got CryptoGRFX in the house. He's a new friend of the show.
Nice. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to meet you. I've been watching your videos since the beginning. You're actually the reason I got into Hex. So shout out to you, man. Appreciate what you're doing. It's been great.
Well, there you go. And I'm on board.
Hey, toke
There
one
you
to
go,
that.
yeah.
I'll toke one to that too. That was great. Hey, fuck yeah.
Glad to hear it, man. Glad
That's
to hear
just
it. That's
extra,
my whole.
baby.
That's my whole objective. You know, just share like real information.
Yeah, when you're early on listening to Whales before it clicks, like right before it clicks, it's really powerful. Like, you know, after it clicks, you know, he's kind of talking to, I don't know, the videos that I was watching, they were really long form. And right before I was on the cusp of learning, it was just extremely valuable because you were one of the only guys that was really talking it out. You were talking rather than just being like A equals Z. Guys like me are just like, what do you, I don't give a shit. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about it. And you just be like on there for an hour and a half, just like working through concepts.
Everything down. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why my streams are always long, because you're not getting anything from a 20-minute video. I don't give a fuck how convenient it is for you.
Exactly. I agree.
You either want to learn and get fucking paid, or you want to get played. Choice is yours.
So true. It's so true. Tell us a little bit about, if you don't mind, because now I'm super invested in this Maximus DAO. I'm in the not in super invested, but I'm super curious.
Yeah, for sure. You should
tell me about what what the main purpose of it as because I heard it incentivizes long-term staking, right? Tell me a little bit about how it does that and some of the stuff about it, if you know.
So from my understanding, the way it's gonna work is like this. You're gonna literally do a 1-to-1 minting of Maximus. via submitting hex. So the only way any Maximus is going to exist is by you submitting any hex for it. It's the only way. That's the only thing you can. That's the only crypto that's going to back that cryptocurrency. So think of it as a fiat currency, which is supposed to be backed by something, but isn't. This is going to be an actual crypto that's backed by the best asset, which is hex. So the way it's going to work is you're going to have that one-to-one swap. They're going to take all that hex and they're going to stake it for the max. So what happens at that point is
wow. So that's actually how they're literally going to stake it for the max.
Yeah, because what happens at that point is nothing, because now each one-to-one accounting for that hex, you can put down one hex and you're going to earn interest just based on the math on the one-to-one submission for each coin that is minted that is Maximus. So it's like a little math equation to a certain extent, and that's where the value is going to be derived from for Maximus.
I could see that value right there, like when you said it, like the 555. There's value there. There's
because it's only going to be X Maximus minted, because it's only going to be X hex submitted. Ooh. That's a gimme.
Ooh.
You see? Yeah, exactly.
Super rare. That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Wales, in your opinion,
I'll be right back. I gotta pee. Go ahead.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you go, brother.
In your opinion and stuff like that, when you're talking to potential, people, because people are watching, they're listening to every word we say as investors. How much of an allocation? So if you were, I know you're probably like 95%, 100% in on, hex, pulsechain, and pulsex. What allocation do you play around with new projects? Like
20-30% is my favorite number.
All right, 20 to 30. Yeah. That's your allocation towards stuff you find potentially lucrative.
Yep.
So pretty much, we're not telling anybody to go in, sell all your hex and buy nothing but Maximus DAO. Make sure you have your core bags that are free from, counterparty risk. And if it's something that you support, do that little allocation there, but make sure you do your own research.
Right.
A lot of people, they think whenever we bring up all these products and stuff like that, they're like, oh, they're telling us to go 100% in, sell our entire hex bag, and we see it all the time. I was watching some old Richard Hart streams and stuff last night, and he's like, you motherfuckers talking about all these other projects, and guess what? I see them selling hex. Like, he does the chain analysis. He's like, I see them selling hex and then trading it for whatever this bullshit you guys are stealing. So
yeah, but what the funny thing is that at that point in time, because I'm pretty sure I know exactly what you're talking about, because I've been around for a while and I've seen pretty much all these streams. That must have been when the meme coins were coming into effect.
Yeah, it was.
That's right. Because what ended up happening is a lot of motherfuckers ended up getting wrecked.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to have your play around money. It's another thing to have your investment money. And this is why I don't even talk about projects. Like, for me to talk about Maximus is a very specific thing, because I've not talked about anything else. Right? You've never heard me talk about anything else. Outside of pulsechain and pulsex, you have not heard me talk about a single project.
Well, you talk about Hedron a little bit, but
I've known only after it came out, sir.
Yeah,
only after it came out. Only when it was a product. We don't got time for games over here. See, so if there's a beeline to value that is visible, like in Maximus, where at the end of the completion of this project is going to actually be a product, you can take time out to talk about it. And that's that's kind of what I didn't do with Hedron, which is to my detriment, because, well, not really, because if I would have known what I know now, then I probably would have lost my shit, right? Because that thing is crazy. Hedron it's a boon. It's a boon to every hex holder, every staker. And Maximus is going to be another way for people interested in hex to benefit from how the math works, because that's all it is. You can literally submit one hex, which gives you value to one Maximus, and you're going to reap the benefit of the math over time, and that's all it is. Nothing else.
Yeah. So I personally like people who take the path through hex first. Richard Hart said this it was probably like 2 or 3 months ago in a Twitter space. He's like, I can't believe nobody is not building on top of hex.
This is the first iteration of a derivative product built off of hex.
Yo, so if the path
Wow.
of their coin is going through hex, that means we're winning still, guys, because
Correct.
they still have to buy
Exactly.
the hex to go through, to Maximus
right.
DAO.
It's
And
a
that hex-
1-to-1, yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
that
going
hex
to
is
be their
disappearing.
only.
It's disappearing for 15 years now, 15.21 years. It's not going to be floating around in some account.
So this
Yeah.
is supporting hex by
Mhm.
another away from all of the specifics.
This is almost like the trust, only in crypto version.
Yes.
Yeah, but I have to
exactly.
work through what the hell a trust is because I have never had
Oh,
any
that's
financial
just
experience.
all right. So just so you can understand that, it's a 50. So what I did was essentially create a SEC registered 506C Regulation D product, and I have to say that because it's regulated by the SEC.
Thank you for being specific.
Sure, yeah. So it's for accredited investors only because that's how the SEC works. So this crypto on the screen is the mirror image of what I created, because what I created, all it does is that it takes fiat, throws it into the crypto. This is taking hex, throwing it into another crypto. But it's the same thing because that fiat is taking that hex and staking it for 555 as well.
I have a question. Will they make sure that the only liquidity pairing for Maximus DAO is through hex?
I don't
Do they have
know.
do they have a way to regulate that?
I mean, if they're gonna have OA type situation going into that, which I don't actually think they're gonna. I don't know.
I just want to make sure you can't
You know what I mean?
can't pair my ETH
Yeah,
to it.
yeah, I know what you mean.
I see that it says, I just want to make sure there's like some way, that it can only be paired to hex. And I don't know if that's embedded in a code or whatever it might be. I know like the logics behind stuff, not the actual.
So let me
the physical
explain.
product.
Yeah, let me explain. So how do liquidity pools appear? Somebody has to say, let me make this literally. So whoever decides to make, and now just because they make it don't mean a damn thing.
Yeah.
It has to be sizable, and somebody has to be interested in taking that route. Because otherwise, it's just a pool that's sitting there and nobody's actioning anything on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if it's going to be Hex Maxi, the liquidity pair only, but it would make sense for it to be.
Yeah, like as long as they're
actually, now that I think about it, if you look on the site, it shows you what I think the liquidity pools are gonna be, because it tells you is USDC, Hex, and I think ETH might be the only other thing that you can.
We'll go to the site real quick.
Yeah, but I think it shows it there, because I remembered you had the site earlier on that reminded me, because I definitely seen that.
Guys,
so
these opportunities are absolutely groundbreaking.
Yep, we're creating actual crypto here. You know what I mean?
We're talking about it as if it's just normal, but
it's not.
It's not normal.
This is cutting edge shit.
This is cutting edge as it gets.
There you go. Yep.
Literally.
Hex. USDC, ETH, and Hex. You see on the 3. So you got to presume that that's where the liquidity is going to be. USDC, ETH, or Hex.
Yeah, I just want to make sure like no whale can come in, make their own liquidity. And then
shut it down.
Just fucking murder it. Yeah.
You guys are so smart. So refreshing.
Yeah, I hate to jump in here and say this, but and thank you guys so much for the stream. I gotta head out actually.
No worries, brother.
Dude, what a good time, brother.
So much fun. This has been awesome. We gotta have this again.
Channel,
your channel.
I'll be in your DMs, dude. I'll let you know. Let's get a schedule. I'd love to come on your show. You can come back on my show. I'm live every day, baby.
Literally.
Yeah, literally every day. Yeah, hell yeah. Well, Jim, thank you. Whales, great to meet you. Stake, great to meet you guys. You guys take care. Have a great day. And I'll
follow this guy. Follow this guy up. His channel is professionally done, legit, and he is good at what he does. And he gives legit info. Like, it's actually legit info. It's not just like,
there you go.
It's a little bit more like, this is what's going on. Let's work through it.
Yeah, you might need to help me out with my website a little bit.
Yo, you need to help me out too. Yo, if you got any, can you look through my shit for like 5-10 minutes when you ever have a minute? And like, if you have any suggestions for me,
we're already building it. So like, we're already on it, man.
Yeah,
my guys are doing so much.
help
we're
me because I'm
doing
not
stuff
certain
in the
on everything.
background right now. We've already talked about all these Hex YouTube streamers. Like we're trying to, you know, beef up the quality, get some more stuff going for the graphics and everything, the videos. Don't worry, we're doing as much as we possibly can.
Sure are.
Well, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your stream, guys.
Peace,
See you later, man.
Peace.
Yeah, I never heard of that. I never heard of him until I just saw his channel a few days ago, and I just absolutely love his channel. It's just legit.
Did you see his shirt?
CryptoGRFX shirt? Is that what he
Yeah,
had
his
on?
shirt, that Hex shirt he made, the Hex soccer shirt.
Oh no, but I think I did on his website. Yeah, I saw that. It's
Yeah,
pretty
that
dope.
shit's dope.
Yeah, he's got legit shit. He's a hardworking kid. I can tell. I don't know how old he is, so I probably shouldn't call him a kid. I always do that. I'm like, I'm 28, so
It's all good, man. We all learning how to talk.
The biggest thing that I'm trying to focus on right now is this. I want to start a campaign called HSI My Ape. So, have you guys been hearing about the whole Bored Ape, you know, fiasco and everything that's going on right now?
Yep. Rug pulls all right.
Wait, say that one more time. It's called what is it?
The Bored Ape fiasco that's going on.
Is that just an NFT like type?
Yeah, so the Bored Apes is the #1 NFT and on OpenSea. It's usually
That's what I know.
1 through 3, but you know they took off. Now it costs like $200K to buy a Bored Ape, and they got all these influencers and stuff. Well, they wanted to stake their NFTs, and then they found out you can't stake an NFT because it has no liquidity pool behind it because they probably drained all the funds already. But you know, so pretty much the way it works is they just launched ApeCoin. ApeCoin came out, and of course, the scammers hit it hard, and they had links that were draining people's wallets, draining people's Bored Apes.
Dude, fucking Christ, man, it kills me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad, dude.
So now they're voting on staking protocols and stuff like that, and yeah, they're working on trying to find a staking protocol. They're voting governance, blah blah blah, and they're building this metaverse thing, dude. We literally already have the staking protocol to encapsulate our apes. We have Hedron. If we can get Hedron to start figuring out some way, you know, to encapsulate people's actual 3D art, an easy mint function, like, you know, how you go and lazy, I mean, you probably don't, but whenever you go and mint on like, you know, OpenSea or something like that, if we could go on Mintra.io, pulse first, how to pulse, you know, and select that contract and back our, you know, NFTs, using that, you know, give them 2.5%, give them whatever percentage they want, you know. I would utilize their program and be happy to pay them, you know. But if we just had a mint function where we could actually encapsulate hex stakes and, you know, throw that function into our NFTs on pulsechain, that would be world changing. People wouldn't have to be worried about, you know, buying some shit fucking token like ApeCoin. Like if you look at the freaking logics behind ApeCoin, it's shit. It's just a regular token. There's nothing special. There's no crazy code embedded. We have Hex. We have to build upon Hex, you know, and it's going to be pulsechain to actually add that.
To me is like they could take pulsechain or Hex to build on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Use Mintra or something as a functionality doc, so to speak, right? Or whatever NFT shit. I don't know nothing about that, bro. But I'm just thinking out loud here because I see what you're saying because it makes sense, right?
You can embed any file. You can embed so much stuff in these NFTs to carry around.
It's just a receipt. It's just a receipt.
It literally is.
Like,
the picture is the receipt.
Mm-hmm. People gotta understand that. A T-share is an NFT. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing.
If we utilize that protocol and we have that minting function, you know, I'm going to be trolling Bored Apes so fucking hard. I'm going to be taking all their people because they're going to,
Do people make money with that shit?
With what?
Like, people wonder why I don't push other cryptos. This is exactly why. This is exactly why I don't push other cryptos. People always, because it's just, they get it. This is the only place where people are actually like, we're the customer service, right? Like if anyone has a problem, they can go to Whale's channel and ask a question.
Rug pull, bro.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Pay me enough, my dude. You cannot pay me enough.
It's disgusting. It makes your credibility intellectually crumble. It makes your credibility business-wise
you have none just to even think that shit makes sense, bro.
Exactly. Well,
that's a great point. Wild. It's just wild. Like, yo, it's people's financial
Hmm.
motherfucking future, bro. Potentially. You know what I'm saying? You fuck around with, get the wrong one to do the wrong action.
It's
Yo,
that
they're
serious.
toast. You know, they could be on the street next week. You don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
I
So
take this shit
Yeah,
serious.
whenever it comes to investing, guys, stop trading your good assets. Only
Yeah.
introduce new capital into these products. If you want to go fuck around with maxied out, buy new hex. Don't take your fucking
Yeah.
hex bag. You know, if you want to buy something, if you sacrifice for pulsechain and pulsex, and then you see some new coin, don't steal from your fucking sacrifice bag. Take some new fucking capital and then introduce it and use the pairing and go from there. Everybody keeps taking from their main bags and splitting it up because they think they got the best secret and they're going to 10x or 5x. No,
Yeah.
continuously, you need to introduce capital for the next 5 years and not, trade around.
Yep.
And
It's
sometimes
the
you
only
might
thing that
be,
makes sense when you think about it, right?
yeah, like that's all I do. I don't trade. Even if I do buy a shit coin, I don't fucking trade my hex bag for it or something like
Nah,
that.
it's just too valuable, right?
Yeah, I'll introduce some new capital. Like I'll throw 50, $100, whatever it may be, just for shits
yeah.
and giggles.
And
Like,
that, if it works out anyway, I always tell
Great.
people, if it works out, let's say it
it's coming
fucking
back to
goes.
hex.
Well, no, even that, like away from that, like if you can just get a little bit of capital from fiat and throw it into something, you don't need to you could have put $5,000 into hex, even if you thought it was a rug pull and never looked into it.
Mhm.
And just because you were just allocating money a little bit, whatever a little bit is to you. And then one thing works out, and it's like you didn't have to put your whole bag into ApeCoin, bro. Like
At
you
all.
didn't have to put your bag into MRI because you thought, oh, it's the only way I'm going to get rich because I'm so much smarter than everyone, even though that's what everyone's doing.
Right.
It's so stupid. It's like you can't think for a second.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
speaking of I'm sorry, but just speaking of NFTs, StakeNapes, I gotta commend you again, man. You really changed, I think, the community stance on its utility, right? Because it's one thing to like Kool-Aid, he knows too much to make it make sense.
Kool-Aid knows too much.
Yeah, he knows too much to make it make sense to us normal folk. You know what I mean? And you said, all right, chill out, bro. This is what's actually going on. You know what I mean? And this is how we're using it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that was a right way to go about it.
Well, I had to break it down that way for myself.
Right.
Because
But that's the point. You got to make it make sense.
Yeah. Dude, I did I went down the same rabbit hole. Crypto Kool-Aid. I love that guy. He's awesome, dude. He helps all my artists out. We have a Kool-Aid University on Telegram. He gives my artists so much
I'm in there.
help.
I'm in there. I just don't get to jump in there at all much.
Yeah.
I'm just busy as fuck. But yeah. I see the chat back and forth.
So we go back and converse. Like he has this, he thinks on a macro scale. All right? Everybody in crypto thinks on this macro scale, guys. Think of on a micro scale. Break it down for the average human being and recruit one at a time. You're not going to be able to onboard the entire. So when they do onboard, not the entire world, but like all these people promoting projects and stuff like that sell out immediately and it's wrecking all of their followers. They're advertising on a macro scale and trying to get as much volume as possible so they make all of their returns at that second. That's why the price spikes and then comes crashing down because they take fucking profits. So think on a micro scale, peer-to-peer advertisement, telling one person at a time. Stop trying to focus on, getting the whole world into Hex crypto. Work on one person at a time. Find something that somebody's building, drawing attention to crypto, and that's your user base. All right. So our new user base right now is NFTs. That is the newest people to crypto. It's not meme coin season was last year. Now the newest people is NFTs. Go to where they're at. Guess what? You want to know where they're at? I'll show you the fucking trick. All right. The trick to the trade. Search NFT on Twitter. Click latest. And all it is these people doing NFT giveaways, and it's these new hyped projects. There's like 10 of them. You're never going to win one of those NFTs, just so you know. So you can drop your address on them all fucking day, and you won't win one. All you have to do is go like their comments and stuff like that, and then they will be drawn to you, and they'll come drop your address on your NFT giveaway, and then you actually give them the fucking NFT. All right? Just give it to them. It's cheap. It's Polygon, man. I'm sending these things for pennies, no gas. times. So I saw what they were doing, their scam tactics, and then I used them against them. And I was actually giving these people NFTs whenever everybody else was dropping their address, dropping their NFT projects and stuff, and they weren't getting shit out of it. That's what the first new user base is doing. You want to know why I know that? Because when I started my NFT project, that was the first thing I was fucking doing. I was going to these tweets that had 3,000 impressions, 3,000 messages, and I would be dropping my NFT project. Nothing. I did that for like 2 weeks straight. I'm like, there is zero ROI on this. So instead, I went to the comments section. I started liking their fucking comments. And then they started following me. And then they started dropping their address on my NFTs. And then guess what? I sent them the fucking NFT.
Like magic.
Yeah. Like you got to steal the new user base first and see what the scam artists are, what tactics they're utilizing, and then bridge the gap between them to Richard Hart faster.
Right. I mean, it's ingenious, really, because you couldn't really do that with meme coins when you think about it, because you found a way to kind of shuffle into the scene. What were you gonna do with a meme coin? Say stake it?
That if you look at every single one of their roadmaps, if you look at any meme coin's roadmap, if you look at any crypto's roadmap, it leads to staking and passive income.
Right, of course.
We already have staking and passive
income. They're never going to get there. But that's the thing. They're never going to get there. It's the promise that keeps the people hooked. The promise and the gimmick. It's the promise and the gimmick. It's not the fact that it's going to get them there. Because if that was the case, Hex is here. They would be looking for Hex, even though they really are. That's the fucking thing. And this is the circle jerk we have to combat. This is why I really like what you did with NFTs, because I don't think you could have done that successfully with meme coins. It would have been significantly more difficult. How do you battle a narrative? A narrative that catches people's minds. I mean, it's psychological warfare, bro. And that's what it is. So this is why we keep trying to, find ways to pitch Hex, but not really pitch it. Because at the end of the day, Hex is really a saving mechanism. It's a tool that's going to get people out of their own, from hurting themselves. Right. So how do we pitch that? I mean, it's almost like you got to sell fear, and you don't want to do that. I don't think that's how we build a new world, because that's that insurance shit. We don't need to do that. So that's why I really liked what you did with the NFTs. I'm like, hey, look, there's this thing, and this is what we're doing over here. Check us out. Yep. No fuss, no muss. People come, they look, and guess what? They don't go elsewhere. As soon as they buy and stake, and they actually, are influencers, are their surrounding, rather than, all of these other influencers who change cryptos, all the time and stuff. As soon as they find us, they'll stay. And guess what? They're going to stake their Hex for maybe a year or something like that. And then they're going to get bored. And guess what? They're going to go mess around with meme coins. They're going to get fucking shitted on. And then they're going to come back to Hex again. Because guess what? I did it. I did it. The first product that I bought, for crypto was, other than Dogecoin on Robinhood, but was, Hex. And, staked it for a year and then just let it sit. And then I got bored. I needed something to occupy my time. So I was watching, videos on TikTok, Twitter stuff, and all these, promise coins were coming out. And then I learned how to buy them, and then they're all worth like 0 cents right now. Right. It's like 81 cents, It's pretty funny. I got millions of coins that are valued at 0 cents. But that's the majority of the market, right? And this is why trying to find ways to really use their own tactics against them is really the key to success, which is what you did. Because if they're think about it. We're trying to capture what the eyes that they're capturing, literally, right? So how do you do that if you can't control the megahorn or the medium or anything? Right. The only thing you can do is literally use their own medium against them. That's literally it. And that's why I'm like, damn, that shit is ingenious, because that's what you're doing. And you couldn't do that with meme coins. So what's next? And we got to be looking, because we got to keep changing with the ebbs and flows, because that's going to be the only way we're going to stay. That I'm telling you, dude, much respect, because that shit is really slapping them with your dick, really, in many ways. Like you're just gonna deal with it, and there's nothing you can do because you're doing the same thing.
If you're not changing your worldview, like in crypto, you got to change your worldview like every 5 minutes. Like the technology moves so fast. I mean, I'm sure you dealt with it in the stock when you're trading. What were the most volatile assets? Tech.
Yep.
Tech always moves first, and then dips the hardest and rises up the fastest.
Yep.
So we're literally in tech stocks, crypto, software. All right,
Most volatile. Period.
So every single time, because somebody makes something cool, and then guess what? Somebody makes something else cool, and now this stock goes down and this one goes up. That's where the volatility comes from it. But none of them have tried and true products like Hex, the code of Hex. Literally everybody is looking for the code of Hex, and they're these meme coins are promising it. All this other shit is promising it because they can go up real fast, but they wreck all of their followers. So everybody thinks they see these high, yields and stuff like, very high yields. That's unsustainable. That's so unsustainable. That's why I like Hex with it only being 369. That is something sustainable for perpetual growth, because you got to factor in that the onboarding is always going to be higher than that 369 inflation.
Right.
You're smart, Stakes. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
He's like, I know.
He's like, yep. He's like,
I just didn't know until I knew.
I was just like, until I got away from people that were telling me that I wasn't that smart. That's when I became smart. It was just like people telling me how to think. Yeah, like
that's how it works. People you got to realize, man, life is fucked up for a lot of reasons, and one of those reasons is our environment can be a double-edged sword, right? While it's there to raise us and turn us into who we are, at the same time, it also helps us defeat ourselves. We are our own competition, think about it.
Yeah, I was very narrow-minded before, like very narrow-minded. Whenever I was on the ship, dude, I had a shaved head. All I did was lift every day, and I was just pissed off because all I was doing was welding pipe, fixing everybody else's fuck-ups and stuff. I was not a good person. I didn't talk to anybody.
How could you be? How could you be?
You were just miserable, bro. You were just miserable.
Yeah. I was driving roughly 3.5 hours per day and going door to door doing a certain service, and it was ruining my life. And I'm not saying it would ruin everyone's life. It might not. That might be the job of some people's dreams. Yeah. But for me, it was
everybody ain't the same, bro. I think we got to respect that too. You know what I mean? And that's why it wasn't for you.
It wasn't. I just can't. In order for me to grow, I can't have anyone telling me what to do. I have to seek out information. It's like when someone's telling me how to learn or how to think, I just don't want to listen to it at all. I'm like, we're wasting time. Like, this is not my skill set. We're wasting time. Like, that's all I think. I'm like, I need to do. And now I'm at the point in my life where I was like, yep, I get it. Like, you got to do your own thing sometimes. Some people got to do their own thing. And I was just in that position where I was just so much more effective doing something else. That it was just like the trade-off was there for me as far as I was going to die in that car. I'm telling you, getting a car crash. I'm telling you, all fucking day driving, dude. I was like, I haven't gotten a car accident in this many years. I'm like, I'm just waiting for one drunk idiot to T-bone me while I'm driving. You know what I mean? Like all day long, because I'm tired and pissed off. I'm driving. I'm not happy and serene driving all day long. I'm like middle fingers everywhere. Like, get the fuck out the way. Like the whole 9 yards. Like it's hard out there, man.
Listening to pop music on the radio.
But anyways, guys, I got to get going. I'm going to say I'm doing a huge episode on Maximus. It's either Monday or Tuesday. Gold Key's coming on. We're going deep. We're breaking it down. Sam's going to be all into it. It's going to be absolutely informative and exciting. And I think this is something that we're all excited about. I'm excited about it. But any closing words, guys? And if you want to come on at the tail end of that episode, Whales, and just because I know that's something that you're very passionate about.
Oh, I mean, I'm not passionate per se, but you gotta be passionate about people doing the right damn thing.
Yes.
Right. I mean, this will be my last thing, and if you're not mad in 2022, you're not fucking paying attention. It's one thing to be miserable. It's another thing to be upset and not wanting to take action. I think at this point in time, everybody should be motivated enough by what's going on around them to want to do something. And that is a function of being upset to a certain degree and being mad and wanting to do something about it. If you're not driven, if nothing's motivating you, then you might be the problem yourself.
All right, my closing statement, guys. I'm gonna do the giveaway right after we get off of this. I'm gonna put everybody's name who's a ETH Genesis holder of my collection. I'm gonna put them in the wheel, spin it around, and whoever it lands on, I'm gonna give that free, ring to. And hey, thanks for support, guys. I'm out here grinding, doing stuff. So stop talking shit to the NFT people and literally go and talk to them. All you're doing is fucking creating FUD every single time you see one of these. Every single time you see one of these creators who blue check mark saying, "What's the next NFT project you're buying?" or something like that, go in there and say fucking STAKENAPES. Don't say I'm not buying any or fucking NFTs or fuck. Yeah, no, go to the comment section. Not check. Yes. Play chess.
Well, we have an outlet now. We have you.
That's
now.
right. We didn't have one, so thank you.
Right. We were just like, fuck, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah. I'm not touching that.
But somebody that comes in with that expertise and the kind of connections that you make quick, that was your role. You felt it and you went for it. And it's super valuable. Like it's so good, guys. GRC. Follow me on everything. Subscribe to this channel. We're going parabolic. It's going to the moon. We're all going to the moon. And I'm going to bring integrity and honest content all the way to the top with me. That's the top of my goals list because I understand that that's the way you actually make it in this world. Guys, so everyone have a wonderful day. Get some good sleep tonight. Go to the gym. Stop being lazy fuckers.
Peace. See you later.